Foo Fighters. All my life on XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant, and of course, Karl Pilkington. Ooh, have we got a show for you today?
What have we got planned?
Loads of stuff, and 2 hours of it.
Right.
And all the records.
But specifically, what sort of stuff have you planned for us? Because I know you've been working hard.
What have you done?
Because you know, I've been busy this week. I've been house hunting, I've been various things, but I know you've had the whole week off.
Right.
So what have you been up to, right?
Go on, Karl. Karl, tell them what we've got. Tell them what we've planned, all the stuff you've done.
What have you got?
But Rick, specifically, what have you come up with? Quick, because people are getting bored. Tell us what you've...
I've come up with, the music.
Right. Obviously we've already planned that. We planned that last week, so that's all done. But what have you yourself contributed to today's show? I'm looking forward to it.
I got a text message today from Ross Noble. You know Ross Noble, the comedian? It was on, oh, I've got news for you.
Right.
He says, ask Karl, if he woke up with ladies' boobs, would he just put a dress on and live as a lady? Or would he just be a man, but with these boobs?
Carl, it's a good question. I know that happened to Ross, so he's throwing that one out at you.
It did in a way, because he ate pizzas for a year, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah.
And he got a lovely pair of breasts.
Yeah.
Go on.
Probably just find a loose-fitting jumper, go to the doctor's.
What would you say to the doctor? How would you explain this phenomenon to the doctor? So you'd be happy with this, because you believe in, shite, like, happening. Go on.
But it can happen, because I told you a couple of weeks ago how it can happen. How you can wake up with breasts if you're a fella. I told you.
Go on.
Haven't you remembered?
No, funny that, innit? Go on.
Have you, Steve?
No, I don't remember this. Did you tell us on air?
Yeah. It can happen if you go to Argentina and have a steak. You can wake up with breasts. Because
I'm sure I'd have remembered that.
Pull the other one. Look, he likes that.
Is that what you've come up with this week? That joke?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Play a record. It's going to be a dynamite show.
Listen, look, we're going to play some classic tunes today. I'm going to educate the youngsters, Steve. Right, now, you've all heard of Lou Reed, you've all heard of Velvet Underground, but, you know, have you heard of Venus in Furs, Karl?
Shiny, shiny, shiny boots of leather.
Venus in Furs. Velvet Underground. What a great start. What a classic song.
They continue to sound fresh and contemporary.
Yeah. Do you know what that song's about, Karl?
No.
M&S.
It's about M&S.
You know that?
Yeah.
You know the shop?
Yeah.
It's all about that.
Yeah.
Whiplash, Smile and all that, all the things you can get at Marks and Spencer's.
Shiny boots of leather.
Yeah. Being whipped.
Yeah. I think that's a new division they've opened.
Yeah, but we have got a great show lined up,
have we? No, go on.
No, we have. No, because we've got, Rockbusters coming up, the great new
looking
quiz.
Forward to that.
That's made the press.
Has it?
Yeah. Frimley Tea Rooms newsletter mentioned it. We've also got,
that's Karl's local, isn't it?
Yeah. We've also got, Educating Ricky, where Karl educates me. The one last week, a girl, right? She was deaf, and she was having an argument with her mum, and she pushed her and she hit her head, and then she can hear again.
Yeah.
Don't know what I learnt from that.
No.
It might be subliminal, something might be going, it might be a metaphor that I will learn from.
Yeah, it's like a parable.
Yeah. So, look at his face. We might as well be talking Dutch, mightn't we, Karl? Say something quick, it's radio.
I don't understand what you want from me.
Oh, we're only joking.
Right, so, Educating Ricky, I've worked a bit harder this week, we've got some good stuff.
Okay.
I'll give you the
teaser headlines later.
Headlines in a bit.
Yeah.
So you've got Rockbusters as well?
Karl's having a bit of a stressful week, because he thinks he's not appreciated, because he gets in at, what time do you get in? About 8 or 9, don't you?
I've been busy this week, I've been in at about 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and you've been leaving when?
About 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you're in Saturday.
Yeah, I'm in now.
You get paid, don't you?
I'm busy at home at the moment.
A lot of people work late, Karl. A lot of people work 12-hour days.
Why are you busy at home, Karl? What are you up to?
Because we're trying to sort out a move. I've been trying to call round this morning to get someone to buy a futon on a table from me.
Yes. Well, we could put that appeal out now, couldn't we? If anyone wants to buy a futon or a table.
Do you think a futon that Karl Pilkington slept on?
How much you asking?
Whatever.
Well, you need to be
you've got to take the two. I don't want, like, different people coming round and that.
Sure, wasting your time.
You've got to buy a futon on a table.
It's quite specific, isn't it? Someone has to want a futon.
Yeah.
The specific futon you're selling
like
and the table.
made, isn't it? Alarm clock and tea maker. This is futon and table.
Looking for about 100 quid.
And it's good condition, the futon.
Yeah.
Right, no
You've not
stains,
dribbled on it?
you haven't pissed yourself in the,
No, nothing? And what kind of table, what sort of table is it? Are we talking? Are we talking like a table for a lounge, a dining table?
No, for like a computer, and just, you know, something...
Has it got any drawers? Are there any drawers? There's no drawers?
No, it's just a nice wooden table.
Right, is it kind of oak, or is it sort of an IKEA sort of thing?
No, it's like oakish.
It's oakish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, 100 quid.
The foot one is just a mattress and the pallets. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. You see, you get cheap futons, don't you? But this is a good one. It's
how much would that have retailed for when you purchased it?
I think I paid about $2.50 for it.
Right, so it's a bargain.
Well,
for people.
if you look at it,
And how long have you had it? How old is it?
This is a whole new strand.
Well, I'm thinking
I don't think it's legal. I don't think we should use.
I'll tell you what I'm interested in, Rick, is just finding out a little bit about the sort of thing that Karl's got in his home. You know.
I'm interested in if people will phone up to spend £100 just to go round
Karl's house.
No, I won't be. No.
What?
No, they'll come here, I'll bring it to work and they can pick it up here.
I'm going to bring a futon and a table to work. Don't you ride a bike
So hold on, we need someone with a van now.
Yeah.
So we need, is anyone who wants to, but they're not around your house, can they meet you next door? Someone with a van who,
could they meet you in your street somewhere?
Hold on, could they meet what you with what about the little Chinese fellow that lives across the road, on the two bouncers and the old woman who's dead reading a book? Could you meet him somewhere?
I've got an idea. What about if you meet at the end of your street, you blindfold them, like they do when terrorists take the negotiator to the hideout.
The big cheese.
And so you could do that, and so, you know, they could piece together maybe where you live from the sounds and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But, what about that, Karl? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And would you sign the futon for people, do you think? Would you give them a little signature? Or maybe at least a bill of purchase?
You could sign the pallet.
Yeah. Or, I could try and get work to buy it off me, and then we give it away for Rockbusters.
Do you think they do that? Do you think they do that? I think they'd probably do it for Foxy with his big
Well, imagine how big that would be.
Imagine if he wanted to sell his hog.
Yeah. That is a motorbike, isn't it?
yeah. He's been selling his hog for money for years, hasn't he? Oh dear.
So, well, we'll see about that.
So, if people are interested, maybe email, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you're interested in futon.
Buy Karl's futon competition. £100 ONO.
Exactly.
Yeah? Yeah?
What gear have we got anyway?
I never knew what that meant. ONO. I thought it went sort of on the nose.
On the
nose.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Tell me what we've got to give away, Steve.
So actually, I have to say, you've excelled yourselves this week.
Richard Ashcroft's single coming up soon after this. Go on.
Since when have you taken to talking like that? It does amuse me.
Go on.
This is a nice little collection here. This is a 3 DVD set. David Attenborough's, The Life of Birds, Trials of Life, and Life in the Freezer.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That's a selection of, animal-based documentaries.
Yeah.
We've got, and this
what is best at?
Well, absolutely. This
I hate
is
when he goes off the ball and does, like, fast cars.
This is, very, very good indeed. This is a best of David Bowie compilation.
It is a very good, it's a proper one, not the rubbish ones that no one else wanted. This is a brilliant compilation.
Yeah, it's got excellent selection on there. We've got this. Now this looks like a Madness. Oh no, it's far worse than we could possibly have imagined. It seems to be some kind of tie-in with the Our House Madness musical.
And it's a cast of 20 people who wanted to be singers.
It's tricky to find out. I can't figure out if it's the originals or not, but needless to say, if you're a Madness fan, I'm sure that'd be an absolute treat.
You love that.
Now I know that,
Steve, I wouldn't mind that DVD collection myself, but I can't. It's the giveaways that, no, we can't.
I'm talking of great compilations. What about this? It's Country Legends. I'm seeing on the front there Glenn Campbell, we've got Dolly Parton, we've got, what should we call it? On the front.
What do we call it?
from a great performer.
Yeah.
Jake, whatchamacallit.
Oh, excellent.
Some great hits from him. So, that's there as well.
What a collection.
That's, same XFM compilation, again, easy to get hold of. If
the big one, the film that Karl, picks every week. The big
DVD movie this week.
Don't go out tonight if you've got a DVD player and a television set, because you'll be staying in and watching this fantastic film.
It will tear your soul apart. It's Hellraiser. The original Hellraiser. Bear in mind, it has been on Channel 4 and Channel 5 and on most cable channels since it came out. But if you haven't seen it, if you're one of the only people who has not seen it, and of course you have to be over 18 to play, then you can win Hellraiser.
That is fantastic. Well, play a song, Karl. We'll come back to that. More great stuff.
Indeed. The competition coming up later. Email only, isn't it, Karl?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Futon.
Futon's still available.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning. Well, Karl, you're chuffed, aren't you? What's happened? What's just happened? Tell the listeners what's happened.
This has sparked you up a bit.
Steve's just called up. He's, putting an offer for the futon and the table.
Yeah.
I think he definitely wanted it, but I said, look, you know, think about it over the weekend.
Yeah.
Give us
you're not a hustler.
No, well, I'm not gonna rush him into it, because once he's got it, he can't bring it back. I'm not messing about.
No.
So
The bloke said, what sort of wood is it? Karl said, sort of like a light brown colour. He went, what, beach coloured? Karl went, depends what beach you're on. Which was nice.
You do understand there's a wood that's called beach.
well, he's happy. He likes the sound of it. Nice plum cover. He's gonna be,
Yeah. It's Karl going, I go with Magnolia, you walls my, he's just going, I'll tell you what, looked nice in your spare bedroom. It was like an episode of Change Rooms. It was like listening to an episode of Karl.
He did the deal in under 3 minutes, wasn't it?
It was pretty good, didn't he?
He phoned it about halfway through in that song, so you worked pretty quick, Karl, I gotta say. It's your Manx scally way.
I'm sure we're not allowed to do this, though.
No, I think it's highly criminal.
Yeah.
Have you got anything that you can
Well, I'll tell you, I am moving shortly, so I mean, I might come in next week. I could have a couple of
I
things,
threw away a desk the other day.
I gotta get rid of a bed, a chair, because you know I'm pretty tall. This is so pathetic. when I moved up to London, my dad said, well, you want to be careful, because I mean, the seating in a lot of these London pads, it's bad seating, very low back, fashionable, isn't it? Fashionable chairs and stuff. You're a big guy, 6'7", you need like a decent chair. We went to a shop, it was like a second-hand furniture shop, right? I bought this chair, very high-backed.
Why did you buy that? For a solo, I love that.
It's just a chair, so I could sit in my room and watch TV.
But was it a soft chair, or was it a wooden chair?
It was kind of like a sort of, well, let me explain, because it's kind of like an armchair, but it's kind of got wooden arms. So I get this chair, I bring it up to London, I'm thinking, this is a great chair, this is a wonderful chair. I'm gonna be watching TV, everyone else is gonna be in agony. You know, but I've got this lovely chair, right? And I brought it up, and someone went, they looked at it, they went, isn't that an orthopaedic chair? And I looked at it again, right, and I realised it's kind of white cleanable. It's made of some kind of fabric that allows you to just mop it down with a wet cloth.
Why?
Because I think it came from an old people's home.
Oh.
You know when you see, like, old people in some kind of social room in an old people's home, just sat watching a little crappy old TV, and you can wipe everything clean. It's one of those chairs.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So if anyone's, maybe they've got an elderly
Didn't you
relative.
keep slipping off?
And it's also the most uncomfortable chair because unless you've got chronic back pain, it's just the most uncomfortable chair. It makes you sit bolt upright, if not slightly forward.
You've done a good sell on it. I think, either the phones are going mental. How much do you want for that, Steve?
If you've had a recent accident, or you've got a disabled, or someone in the house who's just, elderly, then you might want to get in touch. I'm happy to, you can take that off, man, for 25 quid.
This is so wrong.
25 quid, I'll take that. Maybe you're setting up an old people's home, you know, it's a little pet project.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of grant, and we can help.
Exactly.
We can I mean, and because though Steve's such a high flyer, I mean, if it really is a good cause, they just give it to you.
Well, let's not rush into anything, really. I like to assess each case, you know, individually.
Yeah.
But certainly if you are a charity, then I might go for 20 quid. You take it off my hands for 20 quid. But otherwise 25, and I tell you, because it's in good condition, because I haven't really sat on it.
5 quid off if you really are.
You know, and there were some stains, I've wiped them clean.
You know, so oh dear. Well, that's fantastic. So we've I'll
tell you what we should resuscitate next week, Swap Shop. The multicoloured Swap Shop.
Honestly,
it's a great format.
But there's a couple of things I've always wanted to get back at. Swap Shop is one of them, and the other one is Superstars.
I don't remember Superstars.
Superstars was great because it was like the people of their time. So you'd have like people like nowadays. You'd have Beckham and what's his name? He was a tennis player.
Rosetsky?
Yeah, Rosetsky, and they have to compete, so all these people have to compete at each other's sports, and they have to choose 7 out of 10 sports. And there's a leaderboard, and there's a big final. Oh, Keegan came off his bike.
It's
Brian
not
Jacks
like
always used to win it. No, it's real sports. It's proper sports. It's 100 metres, tennis, weightlifting, all the real sports. You can't do your own sport.
Well, I know you're a pretty big, guy now in British TV. You're a bit of a big shot. What do you reckon? Pull some strings?
Let's get it back on there.
Let's get it back
Superstars.
Superstars, sounds fantastic.
Me, Johnny Vegas, Peter Kay. For the bigger fella, I think maybe. The comedy superstars. What we got next? We've got a bit of Springsteen, haven't we?
Let's play Springsteen. This is a track from his current album, The Rising. A lot of people think Bruce is a bit MOR, a bit middle of the road or whatever, but, you know, I just think, piss off.
Yeah.
I just think, screw you, let's play it.
Yeah, get lost,
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Imagine this, you're open top caddy.
Yeah,
you're just
driving
going
across
around
country.
Route 66. You're going home maybe for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
To see your folks.
Just
Just turn up the radio, if you are.
Play the tune,
Probably
Carl.
not, though.
That just reminded me when I brought so stop it for a second. Just realised, when I brought a woman back, and she saw the orthopaedic chair. You bring a woman back to your pad, oh, it's embarrassing.
And the harness.
Yeah. And the truss.
Yeah, and can you give me those 2 splints? I'm sorry? Those 2 splints there. Well, I've got to go, have you?
Is this a potty under the bed? The Rising, title track from Bruce Springsteen's current album,
Great
The Rising.
track.
Yeah, it's a good tune.
Great, it's that feeling of, it's melancholy and uplifting. We've had quite an interactive show so far, because we've got a call that Superstars is coming back. It's due to come back in the BBC schedules, which is great news. Apparently Steve Redgrave is one of them. I just don't think, will professional footballers be allowed to take part these days, though? When they're on 50 grand a week, you can't really have them falling off bikes and their ankles, can you?
Ian McCaskill last night.
Yeah, celebrity thick glove, yeah.
Ian McCaskill.
Oh, he fell off his bike about 3 times, didn't he? Oh, did you see Celebrity Thick
No,
Glove?
I haven't seen it.
There was a great moment where they had to go into a thing called a bod pod, and you sit in it, looks quite space age, and it analyses you, and it tells you percentage body fat. Now, I think, men are meant to be about sort of, 15 to 25% body fat, women are meant to be like about 20 to 30 body fat. And they all went in there, and, it went in there and it said, Ian McCaskill, and it came up, 34% body fat or whatever. Slightly overweight. I'm gonna come to the 38% overweight. Then it went, the other one, 45% body fat, obese. Then it went, Jono.
Did it say, I don't want to tell you?
Yeah. And then it went, 50% body fat, very obese. Then Rick Waller was sat in there, and it came up 60% body fat. And I wanted it to come up slug. But it came up more, but it's 60, you are 60% fat.
So 60% of him is fat?
Yeah. 60% of his entire makeup.
That's extraordinary.
It is,
well, you know my feelings about Waller.
Well, let's get on to it.
Well, that's the reason I don't watch the show, actually.
I do feel a bit sorry for him, and he is, I think he is trying, although the fella there, thinks he's not trying. So I don't know who to believe, Steve.
Sure. Yeah,
I don't know who to believe Waller, and he does get pains and that, and he is a bit...
The problem is, right, he does like his food.
Yeah, we all like our food.
But if he didn't do the exercise, he wouldn't be as hungry, and he might not get fat.
This is a whole new nutritional outlook.
Absolutely.
So you're saying, don't exercise and carry on eating, and that's interesting. Let me write that one down. I will send that to the British
Nutritional Organisation.
Yeah, no, that's good. Carl Pilkington. Okay, well, no, it's a good...
I'm no doctor or anything.
Yo, come on, stop being so bloody modest.
Please.
You are a doctor. You're not a doctor, seriously. You didn't qualify. That's interesting.
You dropped out early, or?
That's mad. That is mad.
I mean, you're as good as doctor, you just didn't get the paperwork or whatever. You just didn't turn up for the exam.
He was just saying that Bruce Springsteen, depressed him a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it reminds him of when he worked in the supermarket. And, I said, it's funny how a song can do that, take you right back there. He went, yeah, nothing else can do that. I said, well, actually, smell is the most evocative sense, because smell is linked to memory in the brain. And he went, yeah, they probably said that before music, though. And now all science are going, we better revisit this, because there's music now. Yeah. We've had this theory knocking around for, 10,000.
I went to see Bruce, you'll be pleased to know. I just want the fans of the show to know that I did make it to Bruce Springsteen's concert last week. And, he started with that song we just played, and it was dynamite. I mean, he never let up. Almost 3 hours, he rocked the joint. He's 53, he was sliding across, it was pure rock and roll. Pumping our fist, sliding across the floor on his knees, he was jumping on the piano. It was real Jerry Lee Lewis rock and roll. And, it was dynamite. And, I just was looking around though, and when I am the trendiest person at a gig.
Oh dear.
Then I'm in trouble. Do you know what I mean? And there was some of the people there, I imagined, you know, on Amazon.com, it says like, people who bought X also bought Y.
Yeah.
And I think people who bought tickets for Bruce probably bought tickets for Martin Knopfler.
Yeah,
Dave Gilmour.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, without Pink Floyd.
But
Stevie Nicks.
But there's also, but then there's also, you know, all the Monsters Rock, they probably buy Stones when they visit, you know. And probably Tina
It's the
Turner.
blue wash jeans.
Yeah.
You know, it's the small waistcoats. Over a denim shirt.
Plaid shirt, maybe sort of like Timberlands. Nothing wrong with Timberlands, that's libelous.
Sure.
No.
Sure.
See, I've done it again.
Yeah. But so it was hell getting out. I couldn't find, I mean, I went to the tube, and it was a nightmare, because some of the tubes weren't running. I just said to my friend, I'll sod this, you know, stormed off, trying to find a cab, couldn't find a cab, wandering around Wembley, just livid. I mean, fuming, because I couldn't find a cab. I was screaming, because I was going, I've got money, I'm on the radio, I've had a TV show, I've got the cash, I'm willing to spend it, there's no one who can help me get home. And I was thinking,
I've seen him shout this in Brewer Street, just to stand in the middle. Go on.
And I was thinking to myself, what would you have done there? Because in the end, I just sat in a little cafe, had something to eat. But you, I mean, if you couldn't get a cab, what would you have done? Just because there's a couple of, there's a couple of hotels near Wembley. I was thinking you'd have just checked in.
Yeah, and just
stayed till the morning.
Yeah, when there's a cab, let me know.
But I was thinking, because you were thinking of going, would you have booked a cab beforehand?
Yeah.
Would you have thought to do that?
Yeah, I'd have got a cab there and I'd have booked a cab
Wouldn't
somewhere.
the helicopters just took you back home?
Yeah.
Oh, he's having a dig, isn't he?
He's having a laugh, isn't he?
Blimey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Play the ads.
Death in Vegas. Scorpio Rising.
Featuring the voice of, is it Noel Gallagher?
Liam, innit?
Is it Liam?
Sounded a bit like him.
Liam, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, innit?
Excellent, yeah. Right, okay, let's get this show well and truly on the road. We better start, educating Ricky next, Carl? What have you got for me? I can't wait for learning. I need learning. I need education.
We should just
Teach
explain,
me something.
obviously, for those that have just tuned in, Karl, tries to teach Ricky 3 things each week.
Based on the pun title,
And yeah,
educating
each of them, just to tantalise Ricky, is,
Yeah.
abbreviated into some kind of headline.
A cryptic clue involving a pun.
So what have you got for us this week?
They are really cryptic this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
First story, little headline, is, don't worry about him, he can do it.
He can handle it.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like he can handle it, but it's not. Brilliant.
Second one.
Oh, get a lobe of
I'm
Get a lobe of this.
Some classics. Who
Yeah.
can forget? Get a lobe of this.
Yeah. Coming soon.
And Stocking 8 Waterman. Go on.
Second one.
Yeah.
I'm committed to this treatment.
I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Alright, tantalising.
Yeah. And the last one, the police are causing a bit of a stare.
The way he looks when he says it. I wish we could see. Can't we get Karl on telly?
There's got to be a way. There's
We
got to be a way.
cannot. With all the cable channels, anyone can get on telly these days. Let's
Right,
get. Let's phone up. Let's get you on Choice or something. Just a little. Just Karl.
What are you going for?
Oh, he can handle it. I think.
Don't worry about him, he can do it.
He can handle it.
Sorry,
Okay,
yeah.
let's hear this one.
Right, are you familiar with the phrase, burning the candle at both ends?
Yeah.
Do you know how it's come about?
I know a man
Well,
who does.
I assumed that it was to get more light in the room.
How would that work?
Well, they'd put it sideways and light both wicks, so out of one candle they could get
No.
two. No, go on.
No, what it is...
I know what
is,
it means. It means you're doing too much. You're staying up too much.
Right.
You're not getting enough sleep, and you're
Well, years ago,
yeah.
when they didn't have light bulbs and that.
Oh yeah. What year is this? Literally ages ago, specifically.
Yeah, quite a bit back.
Okay.
Didn't have light bulbs and that, so they used to have candles
When
in
did the light bulb come in? Because I can't remember at the moment.
don't know.
Okay, go on.
So, yeah, so they've got a light bulb.
You're not. You wouldn't know. You're a doctor. You're not a historian. Go on.
And people who worked a lot of hours, yeah,
How many? Literally lots.
they get up early in the morning because they have to be up early,
Yeah,
and it's dark outside, so they light the candle,
sure.
and they wear it out a bit, and then they'd be getting in late as well,
Yeah.
and like, they'd be like, oh, it's dark, I'll have to light the candle again, and they're burning candle at both ends of the day. So that's where the saying comes from, burning the candle at both ends. So,
Alright.
that's a little lesson.
Yeah.
Lesson one.
Okay. Can I have?
No, you can't have
You
another
can't
one
rush
yet.
into them, Rick. You've got to.
I've got to soak in that.
You've got to soak that one in. Any questions for Karl off the back of that?
What do you think?
So people were. I mean, basically, where this comes from is people were
Literally burning the candle at both ends of the day.
Sure.
There you go. So we've still got,
Go on.
I'm committed to this treatment, and
I can't wait. This is like Christmas
Rick, I
Eve for
should
me.
just say-
It's like Christmas. I've got to open another present now.
No, I'm afraid we've got to save it. But Rick, listen, we often get a lot of email correspondence during the show, Rick, which I don't sort of pass on to you because, I mean, you're busy, you're planning the show and stuff,
Sure,
you've got a lot of ideas, you've got music and stuff to worry
Yeah.
about. So I check the emails, and we get a lot of response, a lot of people that obviously, you know, want to give us feedback. Just a sample one, from Richard Anderson. He's just emailed us in here, Rick, because he's been listening to the show. He says, Ricky, your show is appalling. Are you actually aware you're on the radio, or has someone just secretly stuck a microphone on you? That's from Richard Anderson. So that's typical of the kind of feedback, Rick, we're getting today. So,
Is that good, is it?
So that's the kind of, high positive praise that we're getting. So,
I'm glad Anderson's listening because I wanted him. I was gunning for him as a fan.
I was worried that
early on in our career. So
Absolutely, but,
I think he's hooked now, though.
But thanks, Anders, for getting in touch. Good work.
he's fitting through it for Hellraiser, though, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's still to come, of
Still
course,
to come.
Rockbusters.
Still to come. What we playing?
A bit of old dirty I can't say the word, it's offensive. Old
Is it
ODB.
bollocks? Is it old dirty bollocks?
No.
What is it?
Old dirty.
Old dirty big cock? What is it?
I can't tell you, it's offensive.
breaks up.
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Funny word, isn't it?
It's weird.
Funny word,
What other
isn't it?
funny words are there,
Although
Karl?
XFM's a funny word, I just say the letters out, because the word doesn't make sense.
Just, let me just check Richard Anderson's email again, just to remind myself of...
Go on.
Ricky, your show is appalling. Richard Anderson, thanks. What I like about, Dickie Anders is that he's obviously so angry, he's so annoyed by the show, that he's bothered to email just to get the venom out. Because otherwise you'd just think you'd switch over.
Well,
he's obviously so annoyed, he's
he
switched on the computer.
He knows how to hurt someone as well.
Exactly. He's really taken the time out to show his disapproval.
of giving up.
I'll tell you what though, it is pretty hard to listen to.
What, this?
Yeah.
I've listened back to the tape, that when you're making that thing for the best of.
Yeah.
And I mean, I sounded like Albert's Taplock. I really sounded like some sort of punch-drunk stroke victim. And oh, there you go. I was gonna say, I don't remember myself like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do apologise. It's not a great planned show, slick word of articulate sentence, is it? But I mean, then, who is?
But I think, I mean, there's so many shows that are, you know, nowadays on radio. I think there's a lot of stuff that's heavily formatted, you know, and there's with, you know, I don't know, presenters who are professional and have got some sort of degree of talent.
Yeah.
And ability to sort of string a sentence together.
with
You know,
them.
I'm thinking Chris Moyles.
Yeah.
Predominantly.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm bored with those slick
Yeah,
people,
exactly.
you know. I think we need a little bit of Karl in our life.
I'm just thinking, actually, I've just suddenly struck me, if you want to get rid of your furniture,
Got a buyer.
you've already got a buyer.
Got a buyer.
Because if there's any other stuff, we were clearing some stuff out of our place recently, and we just dumped some stuff outside on the street, because we were going to take it and take it to the tip later. Just dump some stuff outside. And I have never seen so many people come out of the woodwork scavenging through our garbage. It was incredible. They were like zombies.
Well, that's what I was
They
saying.
were like flies around shit.
But
It was crazy.
when I said to Karl,
That's what you should just do, just dump it outside,
went-
because it'll get taken.
when he went, he said, do you think I asked enough, 100? I went, yes, definitely. He went, oh, I could ask what? I said, no, don't do that. I said, because you'll end up having to pay the council to take it away. He said, I wouldn't. He said, I'd rather just dump it and let a little homeless fella have it. And then he went, imagine the little homeless fella sitting at the desk.
Can you imagine, right, I walk past, he's sat outside Hearts, right, the little 24-hour shop, sat outside there, and he goes, have you got any change? And I go, I can do better than that.
Yeah, here's a chair and table.
Here's
It's a futon.
Yeah.
A futon, no less. Not your boring bed, but a trendy, yeah.
Well, but the thing is, amazing the number of people that would stop to look at our junk. What? There was a car driving by with a family and kids, perfectly respectable, just driving past, you know, on their way to somewhere, stopped, got out, got the kids out of the car, come on kids, let's just look through this junk. But I like the
You
idea
said
that...
we were going to Alton Towers,
Yeah.
Dad.
No, sorry, no time. We're not going to the zoo.
this
Let's look
isn't
through
go-
this rubbish.
We're not going looking for people's rubbish
Put
again,
these
are
gloves
we?
on, look through this shit.
Ow! That's a
Yeah,
needle.
that's a needle. It was, I mean, who does that? Well, it was like a Saturday afternoon. Kids were just gonna go and look through some rubbish. And one guy, this is the most incredible one, one guy, I caught him going through the bins as I came in. I said, alright, what are you doing? He was one of those homeless guys who likes to remain dignified.
Why did you say, what are you doing?
Well, because it was my house. I had to go past, I had to squeeze
It
past
wasn't in your
him.
kitchen.
He was in our front garden.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, going through rubbish. He'd torn the bags open. He was going through it. I said to him, what you up to? He went, oh yeah, just looking at stuff. Don't worry, I'll clean it all up afterwards. Just looking for a few odds and ends, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh well, you can take what you want, you know, it's all going away. Yeah, no, thanks very much, thanks. Yeah. So he went off, right, I didn't think anything of it. I was walking past the shops the following day. There's a little sort of, kind of 7-Eleven, right? I was walking past. I thought, oh, that's interesting. A Gil Scott Heron album for sale. And I looked, I thought, wait a minute, this is all our rubbish. And the guy had set up like a little car boot sale outside the 7-Eleven on the pavement. He'd taken our junk, he'd marked on prices. There's like an old RAC book from 1976 that had been lying in the house, a Yellow Pages, you know, and he'd marked up the
How much
prices.
is Yellow
and he-
Pages?
So I'm glad you asked.
What year was that
50p,
from?
I snapped it up. I thought that's a bargain. And, it was incredible, the cheek of just selling our junk outside.
Enterprise, Karl. You
Incredible.
did that. What did you used to do? You didn't used to sell flowers and
Sold
stuff?
flowers. I
Yeah.
sold fizzy drinks at school.
Did you?
Yeah.
What
With
that
a
you
s-
made?
It was Soda Stream, yeah.
Yeah.
Made some,
Well, of course, when you were doing your Pilkington making music, your disco,
Yeah.
you used to go into Mum's bedroom and could find a pair of tights and a cigar.
they'd be prizes. What else
Did
have
your
I done?
dad used to smoke cigars in tights, or your mum? No, which one of them used to... Go on.
Right, look, let's,
Yeah, we're educating Ricky.
no. We're teasing that. Rockbusters.
Well, I think we should play a tune and come back with Rockbusters.
Oh, the show's fallen down. We were going so well. No, it's just the energy, isn't it? The first hour we got through.
I'm still in good spirits.
Is this still good? Is it this show?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's still good, is it?
let me just check, because, just check what Richard Anderson thinks of it.
Could he be around again?
No, he thinks it's appalling. The Dixter thinks it's appalling, so, we should play a tune, because he prefers the music.
Bit of Aqualung.
Aqualung. Rockbusters next.
I like that. That's great, isn't it?
Not bad.
Aqualung. Good times gonna come. Well, Carl, we've got loads of ideas. We've got emails coming left, right and centre. I think you've caused quite a stir. I think you've turned this show around. To be honest, I'm being, honestly. Yeah, no, you've done really well. You're actually acting a bit like a producer, isn't he? And, you're coming through in your own right.
Yeah.
We've had a great suggestion.
We've had a great email here. Let me just check.
Carl.
Let me just check.
Listen to
This is from Jeff Dunn. He's a big fan of the show, and he's just had a genius idea. He's saying, "You're moving house, Carl. Why don't Ricky and I come round? We can do a live outside broadcast from your flat. We can observe from your kitchen those weirdos that live opposite.
Yeah.
We can maybe just wander around, just see the kind of place that you've got. You know, maybe check out your record collection, your clothes, what you got in the bathroom.
It'd be amazing.
Your futon.
It'd be like Louis Theroux, wouldn't it? We'd be Louis Theroux.
Come on, Carl. This is a dynamite idea.
Nah.
Why?
I don't want you coming around making a mess and that.
We won't
make a mess. Well, one person will take our shoes off.
When have I ever made a mess in the studio?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
but do you know what I mean?
We're not going to make a mess. We're not going to have anything with us.
But what's in it for anyone?
Well, it's just a fascinating insight into you.
Yeah, but, right, when I see that little Chinese kid across the road who's dancing about in his underpants, that's in the evening, right? He's not going to be doing that on a Saturday, so you'll be disappointed there.
Sure.
That old woman...
But you could at least show us the room in which he dances.
Yeah, when you say little Chinese kid, he's a 35-year-old man, isn't he?
Yeah, well...
yeah, you don't...
Yeah.
But anyway, that's beside the point. You know, we'll find our own amusement.
No, I don't. And the woman downstairs has got a baby, and if we make loads of noise and that gets stressed out...
We're not gonna make noise, are we? Just gonna have a conversation in your flat. Have a cup of tea.
Yeah, but if we're doing OB, we need to get, like, a car outside with a big aerial on it, and the parking's bad round our way.
What do you mean you have to do what do you mean?
To do an outside broadcast.
Can't they put in an ISDN line just for the dance?
No, because I'll make a mess of the wall, and I won't get my deposit back. So, we'll leave that. Thanks for the idea.
You know, he's going around painting all the little holes, to get his deposit back in the wall. He wants to get his deposit back. It's probably cost him about 400 quid redecorating.
Let's remind people, Carl, of the prizes for Rockbusters this week. It's dynamite stuff. We've got the David Attenborough DVD Nature Collection. We've got a number of CDs, the best of David Bowie. We've got a Madness CD, not quite sure whether that's songs from the musical or their original tunes. Country Legends, 2 CDs there of great country music.
Brilliant.
And the Remix 2 XFM compilation. Plus, of course, the big movie prize this week. Hellraiser! If you haven't seen it already, then I assume you have never seen a film before. Because I don't know if there's anyone who hasn't seen Hellraiser. But obviously you have to be above 18 to join, to play the competition.
Come on in.
So,
How long would you want to be around for? Is this just for the...
Just for the show. Couple of hours.
2 hours. Just get the desk in there. A live OB.
We could check out the futon, we could sing its praises.
Check the fault in, right? Yeah. Oh, you might have sold that by now.
In fact, we could have someone come round and buy it live on air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Think about it. Think about it.
It's great.
How did Graceland start? 'Cause that was... that was his normal house, and then he took over. Right, anyway, Rockbusters.
Yeah, go on.
I give a cryptic clue.
Yeah.
And a letter, and it makes up a band, right?
He never said the word cryptic a few months ago. I love it. Do you know what I mean? I feel it's like our own little Eliza Doolittle.
Yes.
Right, even Richard will like this one. Here we go then. First one, there's 3 of them, and you email in.
If this doesn't turn Dickie round, nothing will.
This is an email-only competition.
Email only. Right, here's the first one. Initial is B, so it's a band starting with B.
Okay.
And the cryptic clue is, I don't like them birds, they shouldn't be allowed in this area.
I don't like them birds, they shouldn't be allowed in this area. Next one.
Right, the next one. He doesn't like women, yet he's got a couple of kids, that's a bit weird.
Is that a cryptic clue, or is that just...
Is that just a
general point?
Is that
That's the cryptic clue.
Okay.
And the initials there are PD.
Okay.
And, the last one,
I've got that one, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Okay, quickly.
Oh, God.
And the last one is, that bloke who does...
Come on!
It's making me laugh.
Come on, Karl, be professional.
Right, the last one. Right. I can't do it, it's making me laugh.
Oh, come on, I'll come and read them then.
No, hang on,
come on, Karl.
Right, here we go.
They don't do this on Blockbusters on TV, do they?
No, come on.
That bloke who does sport on telly. He's got a little kid, right? Initials DC.
What? Is that,
I'm completely confused by that.
Was that the clue?
Yeah, that bloke who does sport on telly.
Yeah.
He's got a little kid. Initials DC.
Okay, is that a band? Or an artist?
It's, well, I'm not gonna tell you.
Cheese.
I'm not
This is
gonna tell
not a well-known sandwich. Is it, what is it? Is it a
Fine.
band or an
Right,
artist?
so just quickly recap. That's,
Okay.
it's a
Come on, Karl.
Right,
Come on.
quick recap. The first one is B. I don't think them birds should be around in this area. Right, that's B. Right? Second one, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a few kids. It's a bit weird. That's PD. And the final one, that bloke who does sport on the telly, he's got a little kid. Right? DC.
Alright, and it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you want to enter for Hellraiser.
Oh, I'll tell you what, continue to do that little theme of like some old stuff people haven't heard of. If you're under 30, you probably never heard of this band. It's also a new thing I want to introduce. It's Show Up Camfield. Camfield talks the talk, he doesn't walk the walk, he doesn't play some rock classics on his show because he's scared. I'm going to play the tracks that Camfield's too scared to play. This is Kansas and Carry On Your Wayward Son, alright? Raw, Nirvana.
Amazing.
We were just talking, we were getting excited about that,
Yeah,
aren't
he's
we?
got an incredible
Brilliant.
voice he has.
And Grohl, drumming, it's brilliant. You Know You're Right, the new one from Nirvana. Well, it's time for Educating Ricky Part 2, isn't it? I'm excited, Karl. I'm gonna learn so much from this. What's the choices again? What's
Right, you've got left.
Still keep phoning your answers to,
Email.
Email, sorry, yeah.
The answers to Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Educating Ricky, Part 2.
Right. I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Is one.
Oh,
of
I've
them.
gotta go for that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or the other one is the police are causing a bit of a stir.
He still says it like it's the best thing he's ever come up with, which in a way it is.
It could be. Right, go on then. I'm committed to this treatment.
Right. Do you know the saying?
Is it just sayings now? Are they all sayings this week?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, the other one isn't. Frog in your throat?
The saying, there's a frog in your throat?
Yeah.
I assume it's, when you, croak a little bit. You sound like a frog.
No. Right. Might seem a bit weird, this one, right? But years ago,
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what is that clue? Committed to this treatment?
it's about frogs Kermitted.
Probably works better with a K and an ER written down.
Well, also, if you'd pronounced it Kermitted,
yeah.
but not committed.
Committed to this treatment! Right, go on then.
That's
Right,
genius.
So yeah.
Well, what?
You go to the doctors and you go with throat hurting a bit.
Right.
And what they did ages ago,
Ages ago. What year was this approximately?
we are going back quite a bit with this
Oh,
one.
okay, go on.
And the doctor would say,
Did history. Imagine years ago. Go on.
and the doctor would say, right, keep your mouth open, I need to look at your tonsils. And the jaw would ache a bit, because they weren't as quick back then, because they didn't have the technology and stuff, and they'd have to, like, stare at it and study it and stuff. And, like, they get an achy jaw, right?
Keeping their mouth open.
Yeah, like, you get, you know,
Yeah.
when you eat a Mars bar or whatever, it's so, they'd sat there, and they used to always close their mouth, and it used to annoy the doctor, right?
Sure.
So what they did, they used to get a toad
Right.
and put it in the mouth,
Rubbish.
Okay, keep talking. Keep talking.
and that way they couldn't close the mouth because either they'd squash it,
Right.
or apparently you're not allowed to lick a toad's back.
So the doctor would have them for breaking the law?
No, but it's poisonous, right? A toad's back. You should never lick a toad's back.
Or put it in your mouth, really.
Oh, just stop for a second.
Wait. What?
Can I just ask one question?
Go on,
Can I
yeah,
just
go
ask
on.
one question?
I've got a few, but
no,
go on.
Sure. My initial thought is, it sounds like a brilliant bit of sort of medical, knowledge there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
My only thought is, how does the doctor see past the toad? At your tonsils?
What's he actually looking at with the mouth open? Surely the toad is
Isn't
in
it
the
like
way.
hopping around in the way?
It didn't say.
Sorry, and my first question is, was this on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Karl, that is bollocks. That is, I mean,
Well, alright then. Let's turn this round. Where does the saying, you got a frog in your throat come from?
probably because you sound a bit croaky. Probably that. Probably because you sound a little bit like a frog when you've got a sore throat.
Carl, did you not question it just for a moment when you read it? Just for a second, didn't you think that seems an odd approach? Firstly, why a frog of all the different
because
species?
it's poisonous. It's poisonous. A toad.
So a toad. So it's a toad as well.
Yeah, well, that it worked. I'm committed. Worked.
No,
My point is, it's frog in the throat.
I was going to change it to. Have you heard the news, Toad Day? But I went with the frog.
Oh God!
Right. So
that's rubbish. So that's rubbish. Next, can I have
Let's play a tune. Let's come up with the last one.
Oh,
Can I just say? No, just play it. Just play it.
yeah.
Yo, Carl.
I have to thank my mate Dave, who sent me an incredible 4-disc compilation. That was one of the tunes on there.
It looks professional. It's amazing.
It's incredible.
The
Yeah.
effort
Oh,
is
he's gone to too much
commendable.
effort. Ben Queller. It's a track called "In Other Words" from his album Shah Shah.
Open wide. Oh dear, that's interesting. Oh, is it, Doctor? Look, you've actually got a frog in your throat. How did it get there? I put it in there. That's the most ludicrous story I've ever heard, Carl. Why don't you think when you read these things?
I think there's always going to be a bit of truth in all of these. I mean, that fella called up, didn't he, and said, he said, I'm not sure about the, putting a frog in your throat if you got, problems with your tonsils or whatever. But he said, years ago, if someone had toothache, they'd get hold of a frog and strap it to the face.
Yeah, sure.
So, maybe, down the line, maybe they did.
Yeah.
Maybe they did.
I think Caligula made his emperor, a horse and emperor as well, but I mean, it doesn't... Go on.
Dick Anderson's been back in touch.
Excellent.
I think, so he's obviously...
We've turned him round now.
Well,
he loves it now,
he's been tuning in. He says,
loves it now.
He says, Ricky, thanks for a really forgettable 2 hours of radio. I think I'll spend the time next week counting my feet. That's from Richard Anderson. So, we've turned him round.
Do you know where the phrase counting my feet comes from? Well, in the olden days, right, and I'm talking ages ago, when you really loved something, you used to, as a sign of respect, like, say, a radio show, you'd count your feet. And that's where that comes from, Karl.
Well, what about the frog thing with a poisonous back?
It's rubbish.
That's true. No, the toads have, the secretions in the...
Why?
But they didn't put it in people's mouths.
No, so... Well, I'll tell you why. When a badger or a heron tastes the toad, it's horrible. Ugh. The toad might die, but it's for the good of the species, because then, think how many toads, looking like that heron could eat in its lifetime. So, the fact that one toad sacrificed itself, all those other toads, in that heron's manner, will be safe.
Why? I mean, we've talked about animals a lot on the show, right?
Yeah.
And when God made a toad...
Sure.
Right, okay, well, I'm gonna stop you there, straight away.
Don't. Just let him carry on.
Right.
Okay.
Like, there's annoying things out there, jellyfish is a big problem with me. I don't understand what they do in the sea and stuff.
Right.
Right, but we'll leave them.
God's a problem for me, but go on.
We won't talk about jellyfish.
No.
With the toad, right, if it's to protect itself...
Yeah.
Right, now
It's not
say...
to protect itself, it's to protect its species.
No, yeah, but that, surely, right, if the toad had a choice, if God said, right, what I'm gonna do for you here, you can have something like a lobster's got claws, big claws to have a fight, or I can give you something that if someone's having a go at you, you've got to try and persuade them to lick you back, as a defence.
Yeah.
What use is, right,
Oh, God's...
Well, I'll tell you why.
What is God
The
up
fact
to?
that there are still toads around is a testament to that defence working. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay? If the toad had died out, you'd have a point. But they're still around. It works. Alright?
And don't start slagging God off. He's got a lot on his plate. Basically, I think he took on too much.
Particularly in 1 week.
Exactly, it was crazy.
Danger High Voltage, Electric 6, XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Carl's getting all flustered because I put an elastic band around his head. And we've had a definition of,
Well, hang on a sec,
frog in the throat.
because there's an update to that, Rick.
Go on.
We did just have, one definition here of a frog in the throat. Apparently this has come from some internet site, so who knows how convincing it is, but it says frog in the throat, meaning suffering from temporary hoarseness, needing to clear the throat. Origin from the Old English frogger, meaning hoarseness. That's from Chris. Now that sounds slightly suspect to me.
Why?
But frogger? I mean, it seems odd that it would derive from that when it so clearly appears to be you sound like a frog when you have a sore throat.
Yeah, but but the word frog could come from Frogger, because it sounds like it's
I think it wasn't Frogger a game you could play on the, on the Spectrum. That's a great game. But listen, hang on, there's an update to that, because, just to
common frog, of course, Rana temporara, that's the Latin name. Well, your toad is Buffo Buffo.
You may be trying to show off, but I think you're about to embarrass yourself as well, because you've been slagging off young Karl. Yeah. It says here, another email, it doesn't tell us who it's from. Although it's hard to believe now, at one time, medieval physicians believed that the secretions of a frog could cure a cough if they were coated on the throat of the patient. That in itself sounds repulsive, but what makes the idea even worse is the application of the secretions. Instead of painting the treatment on, something which may also have seemed rational, a live frog was placed into the mouth of the sufferer, where it remained until the physician decided that the treatment was complete.
Right.
Apparently Shakespeare's son-in-law, that's a question mark, I don't know what that means. Anyway, it's no wonder that today a froggy or croaky attempt at speech is said to be a frog in your throat. So, you can see that what's happened there is Karl's misread, or been slightly misinformed about, a medieval practice. In a sense, you're both winners, just for taking part. What's your final one, Karl?
Right, the final story is, the police are causing a bit of a stir.
I can't wait.
It's about this fella. I think it's in England somewhere. Yeah. Don't know when it happened, but,
literally ages ago, or?
Well, I think it's when they were trying to crack down on, like, drunken people walking about in the street.
Oh, yeah.
And they found this
Saturday that way.
And, found this fella, and, all the local people were saying, oh, look at him wandering around, he's drunk and what have you. That's not right, get the police in. He got arrested and that, and they got him in the court, and, the judge was there, and he says, so, you know, what's all this? What's going on? What are you doing wandering about when you've had a drink? You know the rules. You shouldn't be doing that. You had a glazed expression on your face. Blah, blah, blah. What do you have to say for yourself? He only had a glass eye.
So he had 2 glass eyes?
No, he had 1. But that was, they were about to sort of lock him up.
Was he a bit pissed up as well?
Well, he was pretty livid.
But was he also drunk with a glass eye?
No, that's the weird thing. He wasn't even, he hadn't even had a drink.
So they just thought, because he had a weird stare.
Because his eyes were all glazed.
Yeah. Where'd you get this from? Why are you telling me this? Yeah, but why are you telling me this? I mean, thank you, because it's, you know, killed a couple of minutes, but why is this educating me? What are you telling me here?
Because there's a bit of a thing there, a bit of a fable, that don't always judge a book by its cover. Yeah? So, the guy, he hadn't even had a drink. He'd probably just been shopping.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, and everyone's, like, getting involved. Like, what's he doing?
Hang on, I don't understand. He's walking down the street, happens to have a glass eye. He was doing nothing else to suggest he was drunk. You don't pick people up just because their eye looks like that.
But even if it happened, why are you telling me? With no particular detail. I know this, but then we're gonna get
It's not enough information.
I know, yeah.
No, there's a bit of a lesson there, educating Ricky. Just, you know, just watch what you say. Don't always jump to conclusions.
The only education I can take from that is that, if I ever do become a policeman, I shouldn't just arrest people because they look a bit drunk. I should just tap their eye with a pen and goes, oh, okay, on you go.
Well,
on you go, yeah.
Guys, can I just look at that? I'm just gonna email Richard Anderson and tell him I agree.
Right, listen, we're running out of time and that.
We've got where did the phrase frog in the throat come from?
We've got
it here, it's been told.
Well, there's 3.
Can we play a tune and come back with that? Have we got anything lined up?
Yeah, we've got the song with a story in it.
Come on, Karl, let's do something. Quick, play a record.
Song with a story in it.
But never mind that, just, they're listening. We discussed this off air, come on. Play a record.
Right, it's Kinks. It's a song with a good story in it. You gotta listen to the words.
Karl, what was that? That was your little song with a story,
that's another little feature that we do every Saturday.
So make sure you tune in.
It's a song that's got a good story in it. There's a lot of music about these
days.
What's
that story about then? What's that story about?
You don't know what they're going on about. Whereas that, classic from the Kinks, called Lola.
Yeah, what's it about?
I'd listened to it for the first time properly this morning.
Yeah.
And what I've worked out from it is, there's a fella who goes out for a normal Saturday night out. He's in Soho.
Yeah.
He's having a Coca-Cola or whatever. And he sees this woman, and he thinks, yeah, she's alright. Won't mind a bit of that. So he wanders over, and he sort of gets talking to her. He looks at her, and she's got a great figure, nice face and all that.
Lovely knob.
And she speaks, and he goes, oh God. Got a bit of a bloke's voice.
Yeah.
Got a bit of a voice like a bloke. But he thought, but, you know, that's her only down point.
Sure.
So he dances around with her, and I think he sits on his knee, I think he said.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turns out it's a fella.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
a sobering lesson.
Yeah.
What do you take from that?
look always sort of, if you think you might be talking to, a bloke in drag, just look at his sort of Adam's apple. And he'll probably have a hairier arse than a woman.
Yeah, I think you've gone too far then, though. I think you're already getting too close.
It's a bit late to pull out.
No pun intended, definitely.
There was a pun intended.
Oh, was it? Alright, was it?
Yes.
Alright, okay, we don't be disgusting then. Right, okay, right, the results of,
we ain't got a winner for the first time.
Yes, we have.
We've done this feature
We've got loads of winners.
No, we haven't. We've done this feature for 3 weeks. This is the first time I've managed to sort of...
Well, let's go through them then.
What have they got wrong?
The first one.
The first one?
What was the clue?
Well,
hang on, let's do them in reverse order first. So what's the last one?
The last one, the clue was, that bloke does sport on the telly and he's got a little kid.
What's that?
That's Destiny's Child. Des, who does ITV Sport, has got a tiny child, right? No, that's fine, they got that.
Destiny's Child. What's the middle one?
Right, the middle one.
Right. Child.
The second one was, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a couple of kids. That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Right? That was PD, that was Puff Daddy.
That is offensive. Go on.
But it's not Puff Daddy, it's Puff Daddy. And he's not even called that anymore, he's called P. Diddy.
Well...
Okay, fair enough.
But they got that one.
Yeah.
And if I'm being tight, these lot are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tight means something in Manchester. Go on.
Right. And the first one that they're having problems with, I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
Got it. Boyzone.
It's not Boyzone.
What's the clue again?
I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
That is perfect. A Boyzone. No birds.
No women.
No women, yeah, birds, right? A Boyzone. Sorry, Carl. If that isn't the answer, their clue is better than yours. That is brilliant. What was yours? Boyzone, it works perfectly.
What's your answer then?
Bangles.
I have no idea what that means.
Like seagulls. So you don't want them in this area, so you're banning them. Bangles.
Oh! Well, give it to Boyzone, because Boyzone's better. There is birds allowed in this area, it's a Boyzone.
I think we should have a rollover. Carl beat them. Carl beat them. You have to use his logic, surely.
But theirs works. You can't do what am I thinking. No, that's not what I'm thinking. It works perfectly. I think you've got to give it to the ones that got the Boyzone.
Well, how about, right, because they didn't actually get into my head.
Well, heaven forbid.
How about we just keep back the David Attenborough, and they can have, I'll chuck in the Hellraiser, right?
Okay.
And Blondie album and the Madness one.
Yeah, okay, pick a winner at random.
Pick a winner, Steve.
I'm gonna give it to Paul Sloman, who got those answers, and he also says, P.S. Carl, you're a moron. So, I'm giving that to Paul, and good luck to him.
Right, well.
He's got a crazy night tonight. If we can rush these over to him, he's got a cracking Saturday night.
Well, if I'm a moron, I might get your address wrong when I send them to you.
Oh, coming right back at you, Paul.
Yes. Right. John, play your song.
Is this
Carl's annoyed because they didn't get banned goals.
A song from song for the ladies. I think we seem to have missed this a lot of weeks, but this is I've been wanting to play this for ages.
It's not like us to forget things like that.
This is a band Frente who kind of came and went and no one was particularly interested, but they did do this lovely acoustic version of the New Order tune Bizarre Love Triangle, and this just shows you how incredible the melodies and the words and everything are.
Brilliant.
New Order. Just play this.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Is this the week?
Do you reckon Richard Anderson will be back next week?
Yeah, Richard Anderson will not miss this show.
Excellent.
Coldplay, The Scientist. Have you seen the video of that?
Great, it's just brilliant.
I think I might have worked out. What is, he's walking backwards, it's all filmed backwards, but he's singing forward. Now, the only way I can work out they've done it, without CGI in it and cheating with the lips, is that he had to learn it backwards and did it sort of like bit by bit. Did he do that?
He was on Zoe's show like about a week ago or something, and
so
he sang it backwards.
So he learned phrases and they filmed that. Yeah. But he didn't learn the whole song, did he? He couldn't possibly have learned the whole song. He must have like stopped it and...
Don't know.
It's a great video though. They always do a good video.
No, it's very good indeed.
So it was, The Scientist on XFM. Wonderful one. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
I had a bit of good news this morning.
Go on.
I was on the tube coming down, and I don't want to sound arrogant, I don't want to sound pushy, but I was at Green Park, and I'm fairly certain, Rick, it's not 100% corroborated, I'm fairly certain that a woman pinched my arse. So what do you think of that? Yes.
There's a lot of pickpockets around Green Park.
No, my wallet was still there.
Really?
But even if it wasn't, you know, that would have been money well spent. But but the wallet was still there. So what do you think of them apples? Eh?
So what did she just pinch off?
I can't confirm it at this stage, exactly what happened, but it certainly felt like a pinch. I looked round, there was a woman behind me.
Right.
She was fairly old. I think she's probably in her mid-30s.
Right.
Kind of reddish hair.
Right.
I don't know if she's listening.
Right.
But, she knows where I am. And, so I don't know how to proceed, really, Rick. I don't know if it's worth putting up some posters around the Green Park area.
Well, what you could
just to try and corroborate
well,
it. If you saw a woman pinch the lanky guy's arse,
no, you could probably get in, contact with British Rail and go back over their
CCTV cameras, yeah.
And then they could probably zoom in and, you know, sort of identifying sort of birthmarks or she might have been holding some up.
Then I could hire a private eye.
Yeah.
Again, money well spent.
Well, so there you go.
You know, I'm just saying maybe maybe things are looking up.
Things
it's getting towards Christmas.
The worm has turned.
I mean, you know, it's a little, sexy story to get the show going.
It is
but so what do you make of that then, Karl?
What do you think of that,
you're
Karl?
quite damning. What's your answer?
Well, I mean, you're quite a tall fella.
Sure.
So, she must have really wanted to sort of reach up and have a pinch.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
She wasn't a dwarf?
She did it with her teeth.
He didn't say she was a dwarf.
No, but Steve's taller than, you know, his arse.
Yeah, but his arse isn't 6'9", is it? His arse is about 3 foot off the floor.
4 foot?
What?
4 foot off the floor?
No, I don't think so. About 3. She'd have to be a midget to have to reach up to pinch Steve's arse. He is very tall, but...
I don't know what your point is there, Karl. You're just trying to, I think maybe you're just a little bit jealous. Just a little bit of jealousy.
Well, do you know what happened to me on the way in?
Go on.
A homeless person called me a dickhead.
How did he know? Do you know him? Is that what?
He's like the local big issue fella.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he knows me, he sees me walking up and down the street.
Oh, that's how he knew you.
Right. So normally I have a bit of a chat with him and that. And I walk past him. And, you know, I can be a little bit cheeky with him, because I've been cheeky with him in the past, with stuff.
You pinched his arse?
No, just, you know, saying stuff like, God, you're always there, I mean, you got home to go to, and stuff like that.
Yeah, just breaking the ice, go on.
He knows, and he laughed at that, right, last time, so I thought I can be a bit cheeky, right? So he goes, do you want a big issue? I said, no. He said, come on, I've got loads of them, right? So I sort of said, oh, when I was a kid, and I used to do a free paper around the free papers one, I said, just put them in the bin and go home, right? And he went, yeah, but how am I going to get any money doing that, you dickhead?
You see, I can see his point. He is homeless and having to sell newspapers to get 50p or a quid or whatever.
Yeah, and sometimes I treat him, right? And today I didn't have any money. I had a takeaway last night, and I normally give them a quid, and I felt bad not being able to do that because I didn't have any money on me last night.
Right.
I couldn't look him in the eye.
Did you explain this to the homeless person, the traumas of the takeaway without the tip? Did you explain that, you know, you've had it hard as well? I go, look, you don't
I had food delivered to my warm flat.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
You don't know what that's like. You don't know what the trauma is, because you can't have food delivered to your flat, because you haven't got one. So please don't look at me like that. You should have said.
But most people ignore him. At least I gave him a bit of acknowledgement and sort of...
took the mick.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was just being friendly.
No, I know.
You gotta be careful with the homeless, because this is true, and you know when the clocks went back recently, so you got an extra hour in bed?
Yeah.
And, I was at Cash Point with a friend of mine, and there was a homeless person sat by the Cash Point, and, you know, we would get some money out, and she said, spare some change, and my friend's, he's a bit awkward, he just tried to make conversation with her, he went, oh, clocks go back? Extra hour in bed?
Oh no.
I gave her 2 quid. I felt so bad. He didn't do it intentionally. He didn't realise what he'd said. Just making conversation.
Bumbling.
It's tricky making conversation with the homeless, because there's so many areas you've got to avoid. You know, what was on the telly.
Yeah.
You know.
Although I get recognised by homeless people and think, are they, I don't know where...
Well, you gotta remember that's very much your demographic, Rick.
Yeah.
You know, people who watch TV through the window of Dixon's.
In Dixon's, yeah, there was a... The Ricky Gervais is on.
Yeah. Well, they can smell the alcohol on you. They think you're one of them.
Oh, I've had to cut down on that. I've been really good with this training thing.
The boxing.
Play a record and I'll tell you about that. I had my first week of training. I'm in trouble. I'm struggling.
What do you want to play?
Oh, we've got a bit of, have we? Stone Roses, classic.
Feeder, come back around. XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Alright?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I had my first week of training for this, charity boxing. For those people who don't know, I'm fighting Grant Bovey, Anthea Turner's husband. It sounds arbitrary, but it's actually because he's, at 41 and about my weight, a bit taller, I think. But, and we've never done it before, but, no, it'd be fun. Battling someone for charity.
Yes.
No, but, it's, and I can't believe my luck, because I've been a fight fan for like 30 years, and they took me shopping, they bought me all the gear, and the training's great. It's really hard. I mean, it's, I imagined it'd be really hard, and it's probably slightly harder than I imagined. And the only bit I like, so I don't like all the exercise and all the stuff you've got to do. I like the bits that look a bit like something I've seen in a Rocky film.
Right, sure.
You know, we did that thing with the string along the ring, and I have to pop up and punch, and that was great.
Right, nice.
Skipping's not bad. I'm trying to get good at that. I like that ball that you go.
Are you any good at that? Is that?
I'm getting good at it.
Uh-huh.
Quite,
and what's that teaching you, that particular thing? It's just the rhythm, is it?
It's rhythm, and of course your arms are up for that long, so you've got to keep your guard up all the time.
Yeah.
So that teaches you to keep your arms up.
And you were up at 6 this morning, you broke some raw eggs into a cup, and then you ran up the steps of the town hall, didn't you? I know.
With loads of people following me, and I shouted, Bovey! at the top. No, I'm not going mad. Just, you know, once every other day. But I'm struggling now. I woke up today, and it's like I'd been hit by a car.
Yeah.
Just everything aches, so the muscles you haven't used. But, anyway, I had a meeting, the first time with the people, the program makers, because they're following me for a month and everything, and Grant as well. And they said, you need a sort of nickname, just for a laugh. And I went, what's Grant using? And they said, I think it's gonna use Gorgeous Grant Bovey, or Grant. I went, I don't know, so I better go against that. What about, Ricky Jippo Gervais?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, yeah, so, anyway, I had a freaking with Frank Maloney meeting the next day, and, it's sort of like, you know, you've got to do this nickname, and the bloke said, I checked out that name, you can't call yourself Jippo. I went, well, of course I can't, I was joking. He went, well, I said, well, it's racist, I was joking, I was making a joke about me, and he went, I don't know. And then, I went down to get the, buy all the gear from this shop.
They'd have the dressing gown made?
Yeah. And I was picking all the stuff, I was going, look, that's like Naz wore. Oh, look, that's like Ali wore and I'm going, I'll have that, picking all the gear and everything. And, there was a couple of boxers down there, sort of like looking at me, thinking, who's that fat bloke taking up boxing at 40? And, I said, I wasn't it? And, bloke went, yeah, how you doing? I went, yes, how long have you been in the game? He said, I've been boxing 20 years. He said, how many fights you had? He said, about 40. I said, yeah, help me, I've got to think of a nickname. And I thought, Ricky Balboa Gervais. He went, right. I went, or Ricky Marciano Gervais. He looked at me and went, what about Ricky Martin? Oh dear.
Absolutely justified.
Yeah, I'm not respected yet in the boxing world.
No, sure.
But, I mean...
It's only a matter of time. Once they see you fight, Rick, everything's gonna change. So, have you actually punched anyone yet? Have you actually...
No, I haven't punched person. I punched pads, and I punched the bag, and I've sort of sparred and that.
I know you're gonna get a chance to punch someone.
As I suspected, my punching power's alright, but my fitness is... I mean, it felt like I was smoking.
Yeah.
You know, but there's, you know, bits of lung that haven't had oxygen in them for 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And also because it's not only it's being filmed, but there's other fighters there that are ridiculous. They're like machines, right? And it's that thing I can go, right, I can come out on top, but die now of a heart attack, but never give up. Or I can sit down and go, I'm sorry, I feel ill. And I chose that one, and of course they took the mick.
Well, of course.
But I mean, you know, soon, you know, as I said, I haven't got the respect yet of the boxing fraternity, but
how long have you got then before?
4 weeks.
Okay, so, and do they think that they can turn you around health-wise in that time?
No, they're going to be coming out on a Zimmer. No, they're going to, you know, they're going to teach me the basics and see how it goes, you know. Right. But I mean, you know,
and each round is 4 seconds, is that right?
Yeah, 2 4-second rounds.
With a 2-hour break in between each one. A sit-down meal.
So, give the number. I want serious suggestions of my fighting name. Nothing insulting. Something we can actually use.
Well, let's give out the email. That's always the easiest. Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. What's the number, Karl?
08700 800 1234.
And it doesn't have to be in the middle, it could be at the beginning, like, The Rage.
Okay.
Ricky the Rage.
Ricky the Tits. Sure.
Ricky the Man, play a record. Big
It was a
favourite
good
of ours.
day, yeah. Ice Cube talks to me about my life in the pub.
yeah.
A couple of emails already coming in. Rush. They're flooding in, Rick, inevitably, as boxing name suggestions for you. This is one from Matt, I think. He's given a couple, actually. Ricky the Pudding Gervais. Ricky Big Mac Gervais. There's a theme here. Ricky Pasty Gervais. The pasty. I quite like the pasty. Here comes
great,
the
isn't it?
pasty.
As Karl said, he says the thing is, if you have a really good nickname, it's embarrassing when you lose, whereas if you just call yourself, it's not so embarrassing when you lose. Karl, this is doing so good for my ego.
Do you know what I mean? If you have, like, Killer Gervais.
Yeah, and then you end up, like, vomiting, choking on your own vomit upside down, hanging out the ring.
What happens if you win? Do you have to do something?
Whereas there goes the pasty being stretchered off in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not such a problem.
There he is, being lightly basted. And chucked down a mine. What do you mean, what do I have to do?
Say if you beat Grant, say.
Yeah.
Say if that happened.
Yeah, right.
What happens next?
What do you mean, what happens next? What? Do you think, this is a contention fight for the big one?
But do they,
Well, then we make Ricky 2.
No, but, you know, do you know if they're planning on making more money? Because it's for comic relief, isn't it? So what happens on the night?
No, it's for a charity of our
Comic
choice.
relief would make sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Whatever, right.
Yeah, it was last time. I think that was last time.
Is it sport relief? It's not sports
It was
relief.
last time,
Oh, right.
yeah, but this is, I think this is a programme where
And how do you make money for charity from this? Do we pay to sort of, for how many punches to the head you're gonna take? Or
No, I just
how
think...
long you're gonna last?
I assume the BBC donate money, or someone, or a sponsor or whatever, I don't know, just donate, because it's actually a programme, this is more about a programme with a charity angle. So, yeah.
So as if you get, like, killed, there's more money and food to go around. Maybe. But no, I mean, the thing is, what's the next step? Because if they go like, right, yeah, well done, you've won, thank you very much.
Well, Karl, what do you expect? That it's winner stays on?
Yeah.
Like in a fair, where I go out there and I let people punch me in
on Bird and Manning.
Yeah. And then my twin gets up.
Yeah.
It's just it's a programme.
He's not gonna turn pro.
It's like faking it.
Yeah, but what's the point if it's not going to go anywhere?
Well, look,
Sorry, him fighting Grant Bovey in a ring is not entertainment enough.
yeah, what's the matter with you, Karl?
That's gonna get his face pummeled in. That's gonna be hilarious.
Right, when I did boxing at the youth club.
Once, when he did boxing, he fought once, he fought a little weak kid, because it was his first day, battered him. Next week, it was someone else's turn, and he got battered and he left.
Yeah, I said, right, I've had enough. But there was
Yeah.
there was a ladder there that I had to work, right? And I decided after the sort of the first step, I thought, it's not for me, this.
Yeah.
But if you win, it's all kind of like, right, well...
Yeah, the world's
There you
your
go.
oyster.
But it's a programme. It's just a one-off programme, isn't it? It is like you gotta treat it like faking it.
Yeah, but faking it, right? That little gay fella who ended up being a doorman, he's actually doing that as a proper job now or something. He loved it so much.
Do you seriously think I have any intentions of getting into the fight game and leaving entertainment
But
behind?
what's the point then?
What do you mean? What's the point in what's the point in watching television? It's entertainment.
Or educational. I watch it to sort of soak in
Well, this
information.
is educational. I'm learning a lot. I'm actually learning a lot, and I can't believe my luck. I've got professionals telling me, you know, hopefully how to lose weight and punch hard. That's just fun. It's like having golf lessons.
Right, but say, I mean, here's an example.
Go
It's
on.
It's a nice way to plug it. We've got Rockbusters coming up in about 10 minutes or something, right? Now,
Look forward to that.
people email in, and they don't just do it for fun, they do it because they know they've got some good prizes lined up.
Right.
So they're doing it because it gets them something.
Yeah, my prize is that I've learned something in life. I've gone through an experience, and hopefully I'll come out in some way better if I don't get mashed. That's it. That's the prize. That's why we do anything, isn't it?
I think this is example of you, Karl, is you give up too easily.
Yeah,
you know,
and
you took up the boxing, you gave that up straight away.
You think there's no point in anything?
I did Crusaders for I think I lasted that out for about 4 weeks.
What's
that?
Crusaders?
Well, it was me mate, right? He was religious.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not really. But
No, I mean, you believe in ghosts, though, and shadows pushing people off bikes. But go on.
it's the same time, I think I told you once before that I went to the church with this lad because I swore and he said he was going to tell me dad.
Yeah.
I was effing and jeffing. So he said, if you're gonna...
Is that how they get people to church nowadays?
I love that one kid that, he hasn't got the idea of the protection game. There's nothing in it for him. Either you turn to religion or I tell your father.
Right, so I went to church with him and that, and then the next week he said, I know that was rubbish and you didn't enjoy it. It's when I got kicked out for messing with a tennis ball in the pews, right?
I don't think we've heard that, but I don't think we could possibly go into that now.
Summed it up.
Yeah.
So,
well, no.
No, come on, we'll come back to that. You had a tennis ball and some pubes.
No, in the pews.
In the pews, right. Yeah. But anyway, so I went there and I said, I don't think much of this church thing, it's a bit boring.
Sorry, and so you went to church and you ended up in the Crusades?
No, it's called the Crusaders. What it is, it's meant to be the fun part of religion for kids. Right. And my mate said, oh, you want to come along? It's, you go on a Friday night and do it on a Sunday as well. Right, so I went on the Friday night. It was brilliant. They had Sabutio, played table tennis in this dead big old house.
And what do they do at the end? Say, I hope you enjoy yourself. Remember, God gave you all this.
Well, it's sort of, enjoy the simple things in life. You don't need computer games. You can play table tennis and talk with your friends.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's all right.
I think you'd be happy in a young offenders institution. You get to clean the toilets there.
But don't forget, Carl, I think God invented Nintendo too.
Right. Well, anyway, so that was alright. I loved it on the Friday.
Yeah.
And my mate said if you go for 4 weeks in a row without missing a day.
Yeah.
You get a free badge. And,
salvation.
I don't like all this sort of being stuck in stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
school.
Do you know
what I mean? It's like, every day.
Yeah.
Right, so, anyway, so you've got to come again on Sunday, so I thought, well, we'll have another game of table tennis, it'll be alright.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go on the Sunday.
Who was this servant of God?
Right. I go on the Sunday, it's like a totally different club. There's no table tennis.
That's how they trick you.
No Sabutio.
Yeah.
They start handing out Bibles.
Oh.
And
it's like a timeshare thing.
Hang on a minute, right?
They trick you.
So I didn't go again on Sundays. I used to just go on the Friday.
Just go on the Friday. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. I'm amazed no one else saw through that.
Well, the thing is, there used to be loads there on the Friday, so they won't even notice if I'm not, like...
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? That I'm not showing up on a Sunday. So anyway, carried on. It was
just this kid in the vicar.
Oh, I love that. You got one over on the church.
So I was loving it, right? Playing table tennis and that. Yeah, and then, on a Sunday, they found out where I live, and the head fella started coming round, knocking on the door.
God!
He's everywhere, Rick.
Why did he knock?
The fella...
Politeness.
The fella who, ran the club, he started coming round knocking on the door. And I saw him coming up the path, and I said to my mum, oh, it's the fella from the Crusaders. Yeah. She didn't even know what I was...
No. She thought you were off nicking hubcaps and stealing cars.
She didn't have a clue what I was talking about.
You've been going to church!
You go to church, I don't believe it!
Little bleeder.
That's not how we brought you up!
So, I said, look, just tell him I'm not in, tell him I'm not in. And she had to keep doing this, and they were coming round every Sunday to try and make me, go on a Sunday. It was really important that I went and that I was abusing the system and all this. Anyway, I didn't go, and then...
Why didn't they just tell you on next time you turned up on a Friday?
Yeah. No, well, because there was so many people there on a Friday, you just get mixed in the crowd.
Yeah.
It was jammed. It was well popular on a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, on one of the Sundays, it was quiet for a bit, and, they stopped coming round. So I thought, right, I can go out again, right, on a Sunday, because I used to avoid hanging around the house in case...
What sort of reign of terror? This is
incredible.
Right. So I thought,
it's like the Spanish Inquisition.
So I thought, great, they forgot about me.
Yeah.
Everything, I can carry on in sort of normal life now.
Yeah.
And I was playing out in the avenue. Fella comes round. And he goes, there you are. You're always busy on a Sunday. You enjoy Fridays and that, don't you? I was like, yeah. He goes, well, come on, you've got to come with me. And I couldn't get out of it. No. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what could I say?
Charlie says.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, he nearly killed me in a car crash. So that was the excuse I used next time. He had a Mini, right? And he was driving us there, and he hit the curb, nearly sort of turned over the Mini. Right? There was like 3 of us in the back. So, I said...
Is that a record?
So... Next time he came round to pick us up, I said, look, really enjoyed it and that. I said, but ever since that journey, I really, I don't want to get in the car with you again, because it scared me a bit. And I said, alright then, I didn't have to go again.
That's right, isn't it?
That's extraordinary.
Yeah.
He almost killed you in a car crash.
It's a parable. Thank God no one was hurt.
Yeah.
I remember that...
Your life moves in incredible ways.
Yeah.
Rather like God.
Yeah. So, they're probably round there now, aren't they? Going, is he coming tomorrow? What we got?
Well, we talking about the prizes next?
Well, let's talk about the prizes. We've got the big game Rockbusters coming your way soon, Rick. I know you're excited about that. And is there more Educating Ricky this week? Have you got that planned?
There is. We are struggling on that feature a bit now, because I feel like we've covered a lot of topics.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know about hairy Chinese kids and deaf people that hit their head and can hear again.
Sure.
So I don't think there's lots more to learn in life. The amazing Karl Pilkington. Right, prizes.
Yes.
List them.
Rockbusters.
Yeah.
It's, one of the big exciting quiz shows, and this may be one of your last chances to play. There's rumours that it's gonna get ditched, Rick. Rumours that Karl Pilkington, the creator and mastermind behind it, has already grown tired of it. It's all from the way you heard them earlier on, the very best of the Stone Roses. From that we played, I Want to Be Adored. That's one of the prizes. That's a nice little, Christmas compilation.
Second hand now then, really, isn't it?
Second hand, yeah. 50 years of the greatest hit singles. I'll tell you there's some great stuff on here. Opens, Rick, with, Bohemian Rhapsody.
One of the biggest, number ones of all time.
If you've not heard that enough already, you're followed then by, John Lennon's Imagine, Candle in the Wind, Elton John. You've got, all
on one CD, Stephen.
Well, these are some of the greatest rock minds. They've chosen some of the best songs by some of the best artists.
Go on.
Paul McCartney's Mull of Kintyre. That's on there. We've got, let me see.
That is pretty impressive though, because they are real big classic number ones, as opposed to, you know, the song by the artist they didn't really care about. You see those things on, this is not available in the shops, and it's, you know, the second best song artists have done.
It seems odd that we're giving it away on XFM, because it includes, Robbie Williams' Angels, Atomic Kitten's Whole Again, Spice Girls Wannabe, Kylie Minogue's, Can't Get You Out of the Head, and I think it closes, well, it almost closes with Steps Tragedy. That's the penultimate track. It ends though, any ideas? Some big hit single. But did they know it's Christmas? Band-Aid. Perfect for your, Christmas party,
Sure.
We've also got the, Groove Armada current album, is that from them? And signed by the man himself, the Big Beach Boutique, DVD, Fatboy Slim's, concert on that Brighton Beach. And, there's all kinds of treats on there. And includes an audio commentary by Norman Cook. I don't know how that works. 3 hours of him going, this is where the needle almost jumps. Watch us for this. I did a little bit of scratching. I'm not very good at scratching, but just look forward to that.
I'm putting a different track. You'll see me there. There's the crowd loving it.
Here's me. I'm just waiting. This is where I go from Conga Squad to Basement Jacks.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
That's one of mine. I'll pop on what you see there. I've got Praise You ready.
Yeah, I just got that. That was slightly dusty. I just had to wipe that down with a damp rag.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. Plus, I suppose this is good if you're a fan. This is a box set of the first series of Linda Green. I think a new series starts this week, or has already started. I'll tell you what I found when I was clearing up, Rick, because I know it's not a big movie this week. We normally give away a big movie. I was moving house this week, and I found a video that you're more than welcome to if you're a fan. No, it stars Kurt Russell. Executive Decision. I've got that to give away if you're interested. Executive Decision with Steven Seagal in a cameo as well. So I think it's on TV this week, Rick. So if you miss it this coming Friday, you don't tape it this Friday. Well, here it is on video.
Bring it in, because I think Karl's excited about that. I think Karl would like to win that, wouldn't you?
Great prizes there.
How about if you come up with an extra Rockbusters today? For the bonus prize.
I don't think I'm the man for the job, Karl. I think it has to come from your unique take on the world.
Karl, I don't think you've quite worked out why you're funny. And why things you do are good. Go on then.
Right, you ready then? So, just in case, you haven't heard it before, I'll give you some initials of a band or an artist.
We're not doing Rockbusters now, are we?
Yeah, I thought, well, we'll just...
Oh, then we keep that going, then we've got one. I love Educating Ricky, that's my favourite thing now.
Well, what do you want to do, Steve? I mean,
let's hear the clues.
It's just that it's sort of bigged up the prizes.
And so this is only by email. Give the email address out now for people to write it down now, Karl.
Right, it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Only entries on email.
Yeah.
You're gonna get 3 clues. You've got to get them all right.
And you win all the
You win all those prizes we said. Okay, Karl, go on then.
Right, and just a quick example, one of the first ones we did, it was like AK, and the clue was Exploding Pet.
Yeah.
And it was Atomic Kitten, right?
Yeah.
So you understand how it works now. These are your clues. The first one, that army has got some nice trenches.
That army has got some nice trenches. Excellent.
And the initials there are DW.
Do you write some of the questions for 15 to 1?
Go on.
So that army has got some
similar phrasing.
Trenches, okay.
Okay.
The second one,
what were the initials there, Karl, on that person?
DW.
DW.
Yeah. Right, the second one, the top of them curtains are all wrecked. All the materials all worn.
He acts it out though. We've got to get him on telly. We have got to get him on telly, because his little face and his gestures.
That's the second one, the initials being HV, okay? The top of those curtains are wrecked. all the material's all worn out. Right, HV. And the final one, here's the final clue. I was in Texas the other week, right? I tripped and landed on my knees in a puddle.
What's the initials?
WH for that one. So I was in Texas, I tripped up, landed on my knees in a puddle. So that's WH.
Incredible.
You've got it!
Is it great?
It's fantastic! It doesn't work!
Okay, time during the record, remember you're playing for these compilation albums. We got the Fatboy Slim DVD, Linda Green on VHS, and of course Executive Decision, starring Kurt Russell as well.
Oh, God! Bob Dylan. Just Like a Woman on XFM 104.9.
A couple more names, boxing nicknames for you, Rick. I think this is from Josh. Ricky Blue Eyes, I quite like. And he's also put Toad Rage. Which I quite like. I'll tell you, our #1 fan is emailed again, I'm pleased to announce. Richard Anderson, Dickie Anderson, he was in touch last week.
He loves this show.
He's such a fan of the show, and this week he's emailed in, what actually is the point of your show? Is it to confuse, irritate, depress, or what? All of those things, Dickie. Thanks for noticing.
Oh, he loves this show.
He's such a fan. He's such a fan.
He's
Because last week, you remember, Karl, he emailed in to say that he'd rather spend his time counting his feet than listen to this show. Presumably he's done that. Yeah. And he's
how many feet?
Incredible. Yeah.
No, but he loves this show.
Good, yeah. So, thanks, R.A. Thanks for listening.
See you later. Missy Elliott. Work It on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Educating Ricky?
Yeah.
Should I do a bit of that?
Well, the clues are coming in furious.
The answers, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah. So go on in. Oh, this is what.
Yeah, Rockbusters is well underway, Karl. Don't worry, you've done your work now.
Okay.
Right, come on.
Right, Educating Ricky.
This is my favourite bit now.
You're just gonna tease us, aren't you, with 3 headlines, if you
I'm gonna choose one, then we got the other 2 as well.
Yeah, that's the way it works, and at the end of it, you learn some stuff. Like I say, I'm struggling a bit with knowledge.
Yeah.
At last he confesses.
Yeah, go on.
So the 3 headlines for you to pick from, we've got, first one, we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
I got a feeling there's some vegetables involved.
Yeah, go on.
Maybe. Second one, he's a bit of a nuisance.
Okay.
Right.
And, third one, I'll bacon in the morning, if you're sick of having me here.
Oh, that one.
I'll bacon in the morning, if you're sick of having me here.
Right, I'm having that one.
That's brilliant.
Right, well, it's a saying. Do you know, cold shoulder? Giving someone the cold shoulder?
Yeah.
Alright, if you have someone round at your house, and, you know, you try to get rid of them, and they're hanging around and stuff, and you're like, oh, I wish they'd go, I'm tired and that. Well, years ago,
when? Literally years ago. Well, ages ago.
Sort of,
olden times.
I think it said medieval times.
Yonks ago then, yonks ago.
Yeah, medieval,
We're going back quite a bit on this
Well,
one.
you know when you find out these books, why don't you just pop down when it was?
Just make a note.
I don't think it says all the time, it just sort of says, you know, a few years back.
Yeah.
Oh. No, it doesn't.
Well,
never.
Alright, I'll make an effort next week.
Okay.
Right? So, it's annoying that, because my girlfriend said to me, just make a note at the time and they'll stop having a go at you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I kind of thought, oh, it's alright.
Didn't listen.
I don't think it matters anyway in this one. We're looking at the saying, right? So it's giving someone a cold shoulder, right? And what it is, right? Ages ago, there wasn't enough houses for people.
Right.
Because there wasn't much money being made. You know, there weren't big businesses. People weren't earning good money like they are now. So there wasn't as many houses, right? So what you ended up getting is like, you know, the rich people having a nice place to live. And the poor people were like wandering about, you know, looking for places to live and that. And what they ended up doing is, they had like, people would go round to the mate's house and say, look, I haven't got anywhere to live. It's a bit cold. Can you let me stay? Right? So they'd go, oh, alright, then you can stay a couple of days. But they ended up staying for like weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So, to sort of get rid of them, what they'd end up doing, they'd be making the dinner, and they'd, be making a lovely dinner, like, bit of meat, nice warm meat, and, nice veg, gravy, and
this happened every time, did it? This is where the saying came from.
This is what happened, Rick.
This is happened every time.
It was in that vague book.
The book of vague sayings and stuff.
Right, so they'd be making a nice meal, but what they did, they looked after all the family, but the person who won't go home, they just give them some, like, sort of a cut-off of cold meat.
Right.
So they'd say, you're giving them the cold shoulder. Meaning...
Right. Okay, that's rubbish. Okay, absolute...
Carl, why does that necessarily work?
Yeah. Why do they always, in every situation when you want to get rid of a lodger, well, still feed him every day, but make the meat lukewarm. So
they always leave then.
Yeah.
Oh, this food's lukewarm, I'm gonna become homeless
and they
again,
go,
wandering the streets.
Hold on, are you giving me the cold shoulder? Yes. Do you want me to leave? Yes, just say leaving. No, I like to do it cryptically. That way, in years to come, someone will have a little saying about it.
Well, yeah, that was our bacon in the morning.
Yeah.
If you've had enough of meat, we'll leave that.
Well,
bacon in the morning! Oh, bacon in the morning if you've had enough of me!
So come back. What are the others? Just tease us again with the others. We'll come back to those.
He's a bit of a nuisance, and we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Nice, looking forward to that. Nirvana, in their version of The Man Who Sold the World, the David Bowie tune.
Yeah. Good tune.
Taken from that new Nirvana compilation.
I like that version, I like the David Bowie version.
You can't decide, can you, Rick? You're torn.
In fact, I like the Lulu version as well.
Is there a Lulu version?
Maybe we should play that one week. Yeah.
Was this recorded, what, in the 70s?
I think she recorded it about the same time as David Bowie. I don't know if he released it as a single. I think it was just off the album.
Interesting.
Karl is studying. Okay, what's the next one? What's the next educating Ricky?
I don't know, see, like I say, I was looking around and there's stuff that is interesting. Right, I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about,
what's the point?
About a lad who, 8 years old, but he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of that.
Is that what his mum said? What do you mean I don't know if I can get anything out of that? You don't need to.
No, it's just that, you know...
Where did you read that?
That was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It's just it was on the internet.
Well, I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confuse the computer.
Go! You are...
No,
honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and he came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that, why is that... And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, you know, on his mum's nipple. And, it was saying, you know, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y just to confuse the computer. Like, we were going, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Oh, look, yeah. Last week, I was walking, home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week. Let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, No. I went, why not? He went, well, they'd be confusing because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
We do though, don't we?
No, but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and, you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm
just... A title for the story?
No, it's just what would you do? Right?
What do you mean, what would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area. Right?
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid who's breastfeeding at 8.
Imagine it like this, right?
No, so Carl, what are you asking me? About this spurious story you saw on the internet?
I saw it on the internet. There's an 8-year-old lad, he likes his mum's milk, and it's saying, is this right? Should it
No, it's not. But what do
you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right, you know, I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So, what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it.
Yeah.
And he, you know, so what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws. I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what would you say? If you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? What are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the public?
I'm just saying, say if you live next door to this woman.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old, he's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish, and he goes, alright son. She whops one out. And he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out, and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it, because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I assume.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Carl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, alright then, put it in a bowl first.
So
and you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right, and you do that when you're a baby, and everything's alright, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at
Sure.
a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah.
you'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like, you don't see. It got me thinking about things you don't see. And you don't see.
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see, like, an old man having a Twix. You never...
Oh!
So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right.
You don't see an old man
No, that's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right, they've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with Werther's.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
No, listen now. So they've got their Werther's, right?
Yeah. Look at him! You think he's giving a lecture at Oxford?
It's not going anywhere.
No, go on, sorry. Go on.
I'm just saying,
Right.
you grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't look right, so he's having...
It doesn't look right!
So...
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, I have a Werther's original.
I think it cuts though before he throws it back in his face and get me a Twix. And a damn curly-whirly, Grandad, you old fool.
Electric 6, Danger, High Voltage on XFM, 104.9. Sums up the show, Danger, High Voltage. Indeed. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Birchin, and the amazing Karl Pilkington. So, other things you don't see, Karl? Got any other ones, or you obviously been thinking about this? What confuses you? When you look out your window, what confuses you with the world? What do you walk around going, oh, that's a bit weird? I remember, when you were in, Edinburgh, you were confused because you saw someone putting a parking ticket on some rubbish. Which confused you. Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
The world's a crazy place, isn't it? I mean, whatever you look at, you can... Do you know what I mean?
Like what? Like what?
Well, anything. I mean, you could look out the window there and you'll see something, you go, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
What are they doing that for?
Yeah.
I'll say this, maybe we should bring back White Van Karl. There's some interesting questions this week, Rick.
Yeah.
We could pull that out of the bag if you're interested.
Shall we do that?
Just, get, Carl's take on, the world's
Let's do it,
views.
let's do it.
I'll tell you what, we'll do that in a second. Let's have another Educating Ricky, because I think you got sidetracked with your talk of
Well, just the other thing on things you don't see. Look at the way when I went to school, there was 2 kids with them big heads. Now,
you don't
never see them.
Sure.
Yeah, but no one else saw them anyway, Karl. It was only you that saw 2 of them, not related, and wouldn't hang around with each other, because you think they thought it would be too obvious. Webbed fingers and big heads. That's amazing.
And there was a kid with a pigeon chest, so...
Oh yeah, and the lady with the head like a bag of spuds.
Let's not go through these again. It just raises too many questions that can't be answered.
Yeah.
Right then, so, we've got, we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Yeah, go on.
Is that the one you want?
Let's go for it.
Right, I think this was like round the 1700s.
Bluffing.
And
Just bluffing.
Who was the king then?
Go on.
But it's about the word bonfire, right?
Bonfire.
Bonfire.
Yeah.
Do you know where it comes from?
No, go on.
No.
Right, what happened is it's got nothing to do with Guy Fawkes and that, which is what I thought when I saw it. It's got nothing to do with that. But ages ago, at 1700s,
Yeah.
right, didn't have enough houses, like I mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if that happens, you get people living on the streets. You get diseases, people aren't cleaning properly. So, you get more deaths. Alright?
Yeah.
So, think about it. You've got all these dead bodies lying around. They're running out of space. Because there's, like, I don't know why they're running out of space. But, they haven't got much, I don't know why, really. I was gonna say they should have just buried them, but there's probably more land back then than now.
He doesn't need anyone else in the room to have a conversation with himself. Yeah, we could leave and we'd come back and he'd go, I've sorted it. Yeah.
But anyway, for some reason,
they presumably, if it's going to be they burnt them, it's presumably to do that it also kills the parasite or whatever's carrying the parasite on them, as opposed to burying them and not killing the disease.
Well, yeah. So there you go, you've worked it out. They piled them up, and they turned it into a celebration, because there was a lot of fed-up people at that time.
Is it to be the word bon, meaning good?
No, I'll tell you in a minute.
Go on.
So, you've got all these people who are, like, going around, and like, oh, you know, so-and-so died the other day, and, you know, nearly every week someone they knew was dying, so you can imagine, like, just constant, like, being depressed. So, and they've got all these bodies lying everywhere. It's like, oh, God, what are we gonna do? So they said, we're all too fed up at the moment. Said, let's make this a better world.
This was 1701 by the time they got together.
So they said, what we need to do is, have a big party. So they said, yeah.
Good thinking.
See what you're thinking. So, they go, right, well, we'll put all the bodies in a big pile. And they're all diseased and that, so they set fire to the bodies. And they said, let's have this as a celebration to remember them by. And, you know, we'll have a drink and that, and have a chat. We'll have this big fire going, and it came from bone fire.
Ah, right.
So it was all the bones. Bonfire is bone fire.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah?
That's interesting.
So that's how it came about.
Yeah, in the 1700s.
Yeah.
That was?
No, probably, I reckon it was 1600.
Probably earlier.
I reckon it was the plague. I reckon it came from.
But, interesting stuff. Interesting
stuff. So that's,
Did you celebrate Bonfire Night? Is that a big celebration for you? Do you like the fireworks? I'm sick of fireworks. I just think they're rubbish.
I'm not impressed.
I've never been impressed by fireworks. Even as a kid, you know, you have to go to, like, sort of community kind of gatherings with the bonfire and fireworks, and like some local vicar or whatever would come out and...
But I also think the adults think the kids love it, and everyone, and if they just got together and said, should we go to see it, they'd all go, no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's not go this year.
What would be better is if the vicar had wheeled out like a massive rocket, climbed in, gone last one to the moon as a bender, and then fired himself off. Now that, I'd pay to see. That's a fireworks display I'd like to see. As it is, it's just rubbish.
Dear.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Carl?
Yeah, I'm not keen.
No.
Sorry, what clue was that?
We'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Bone marrow. Bone marrow. Genius. Let's play the record.
Oh, God! Right, what's this? Go on. Go on, just get on with it, because I just can't believe what you just said.
What are we doing? Are we, final one?
Yeah.
Right, the last one, like I said...
No. Say the record. Say the record you played. Go on.
This is, free association.
Yeah, brilliant, right.
Shadow would not.
Yeah, and what did you just say to me just before this was ending? He just looked over at me and went, are there any animals without a brain?
No, but hang on a minute.
No, right. And I went, yeah, there's animals that he went, I was gonna talk about this, but it's sad. There's a lad born without a brain, and he laughs a lot, and his hearing and his sight's okay. I'll go, well, that's impossible. If he's without a brain, all that is impossible. And he went, well, it was in the magazine.
No, it was in a book that somebody sent.
Right. And
I didn't want to bring it up, because it is a bit sad, really. That this, you know, young lad, there's a picture of him sat there with his mum, and,
Carl! Carl!
Forget it.
It's impossible.
Well, there must have been more to the story,
He
Carl.
can't not have a brain. Hearing and sight is a concept within the brain. That's all it is, right? The ears are just receptacles. They're just, So.
But that's why it was in this book. It was a book of mysteries.
Carl, you know, if you're reading a book and you see a photo and you guess at what you think the story might be, that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it fact.
I looked at it because I thought he looks like an happy lad.
Sure.
And I read about it and I thought, that's weird. Like you've said, the fact that he hasn't got a brain but he can see and he can hear.
No! Impossible!
Well,
impossible.
okay.
Go on.
I don't know who to believe. Listen, we haven't done it for a while. White Van Man. I thought there's some interesting questions raised today, and I think it might be nice to just throw them Carl.
I think we set Karl up again in the last hour as a person that people want to know his opinions on the world. Yeah.
Well, if you're not familiar with it, on Saturdays the Sun newspaper asks a typical white van driver questions his opinions on the week's news, and we thought we'd throw these in the direction of Karl. And then what do you make of this teenage thug, Karl, Mickey Carroll, who spent 4 months in jail and he's won 9.7 million on the lottery? Is that justice? When you think of all the good people that are going hungry? And there's a lad there and he's won.
Did he buy the ticket before he went in?
No, I think he bought it once he'd come out.
So he's done his time.
He's done his time.
Fair enough then, he's been punished.
Yeah.
Right? He's bought a ticket. He's had a lot of bad luck. Now he's having a bit of good luck.
Good luck to him.
Next one.
Are you concerned that now he's got all that money he could turn into like a sort of mastermind villain? You know, like a James Bond style villain? He's got a criminal streak, we know that. Is that a concern for you? I mean, imagine that he could build some kind of underwater fortress.
We don't, with my lawyer's hat on, we don't know that.
Yeah, well. Well, he'd have to prove that he didn't have a criminal streak. I'd say that you've been in jail for 4 months.
Yeah, but sometimes people are bad because they haven't got any money, so he might be an angel of gold now.
Yeah. 1 in 5 children aged between 11 and 16 go on booze binge sessions at least once a week. That's terrifying news, isn't it?
Kids, they know too much now.
Yeah.
You despair.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Listen to this one, right?
Go on.
My dad had me niece in the car, right, running her to school one day, and she was in the back of the car with a mate, and they chatting away about stuff like kids do. And they got onto the topic of one of the mates who they said, I mean, you've got to remember, your niece, this point, was probably about 5 or 6, something like that, right? In the back of the car, talking about My Little Pony, whatever it is they play with. Subject changed. Oh, that Lisa in our class, she's a lesbian, isn't she?
Right.
That's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Chatting away about it.
Just openly talking about lesbianism.
And probably, you know, this is the topic that they're talking about in the pub when they're having out drinking.
Yeah, but they might have thought a lesbian was a funny word or something. You don't necessarily know the ins and outs of it, do they?
It's weird though, isn't it? Because when I was younger at school, you didn't you swore a little bit, but it wasn't like major swear words, and you sort of did a little bit of nicking, but nothing like they get up to now. I mean,
my girlfriend, when she was about 7 or 8, just walked to school with her mum, and she called her a C-U-N. Right?
You are joking.
No, she said, because she thought it was a big, she said she thought it was a big furry animal. So she was being nice, and where'd you do that? Where'd you do that? Like, just heard it at school. So they might not know what it means.
Well, I tell you, I'm gonna have to use kind of euphemisms here to tell this story, but when I was at school, I learned, the stronger version, it's not the same word, but it's very similar with one letter changed. I'm gonna use twit.
Yeah.
You know the word I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna use the word twit to replace it, right? And I went round...
Do you think they're twat?
Yeah. Alright. That's what I'm thinking of. And, so can I say it? Am I allowed to say it?
No, it's weird though, because some people from Cornwall use that like saying twit. So, if people listen in Cornwall...
Do you know a twit is a pregnant goldfish?
No.
Well, I learned the stronger version of twit.
Yeah.
Twat. For those that aren't sure. I learned this at school when I was like 10 or whatever, and I didn't know what it meant. I thought it was just a stronger version of twit. Yeah. I thought it was just if you were really annoyed with someone because they were a real twit.
Because A is worse than I.
Exactly, apparently. So, Karl would be a twit. And so I started using this at home, because I didn't realise what it meant. I started using this at home, oh, you twit, you're a twit, and saying it to my dad, you're a twit, but not saying twit. Yeah. And my dad didn't know what it meant either.
That's great!
I couldn't believe. So he started using it as well, right? So then we'd be driving in the car, he'd be saying to my mum, you stupid, saying to my mum, you don't pull over, you're gonna bum at you, saying this. Then I learned at school from Mark Johnson what it really meant.
Yeah.
Stopped using it, obviously finding out it was quite an offensive word.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up to my dad. I didn't want to sit my dad down and say, Dad, you know that word we've been saying? Yeah. You know what it means? So now, to this day, I've never brought it out with him. So we'll be driving, I'll go home for Christmas, we'll be driving around, he'll be calling my mum that word. Left, right and centre. I think she knows. I think she's just embarrassed. Or she's just upset, and she knows what it means. She goes, why does he keep calling me this terrible word? But he's the only one, I think, in our family who doesn't know what it means. No one's got the guts to say, I don't know whether I should tell him this Christmas.
Oh, what a twat.
I know.
Good
Should we hear that again?
Always good to hear that.
Suede. Animal Nitrate. Carl was all flustered because there isn't a record set up, but he's getting all tizzy. He's been more worried about his competitions and sorting out putting records on ready. What?
I'm after Steve's Song for a Lover.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you carry on with your, educating Ricky section? I'll have a look on the
We'll keep it going, Steve.
Yeah,
Cover it. Go on. Go on then, right, okay. We've had a few emails. Anyone got it right, Carl? Anyone got it?
Educating Ricky, that's the final one. We've got to get that out of the way.
We've got to get Rockbusters as well, though.
Do that at the end, we can
Go on then.
But we've only got 5 minutes left.
Come on, just do Educating Ricky.
Right. God. The last one that we haven't done is, he's a bit of a nuisance.
Go on then.
Again, not really that interesting.
Thanks.
No, like, again, I spoke to you in the week, and he had much better things, like when I tell you about Brian Blessed climbing Everest, and for some reason it made him, it played havoc with his belly, and he followed through, and he had to clean up.
Shut himself?
Yeah, using ice and snow.
Why are you telling me that Brian Blessed, in what way is telling me that Brian Blessed shit himself once in any way educational?
Because I was saying how he was climbing Everest, right?
Right.
I give it to him, he's an actor and that, but he gave that a go.
Yeah.
Right? He played...
What's the point of that, you'd say, wouldn't you?
You'd say, God, he's you know...
So he's alright. Me doing a boxing match for no reason is rubbish, but him climbing Everest and shitting himself...
Yeah, he did that.
is commendable.
Right, and he's only gonna, like, go and do it again. He's gonna climb it again.
Yeah, but he might not shit himself this time.
Yeah, what's the point in going? Nothing's changed up there.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
What's it been?
Well, it has. They've probably cleared it up by now. Like, but, it's slip on it.
I can't even be bothered telling you this one, because...
Come on! Just do it, or do it now!
Steve, how we doing?
Look, no, never mind that. Look, just tell me what that means. Oh, he's a nuisance. Oh, this is so annoying, Carl. I'm gonna go mental.
Right,
talk!
Right, listen, I'm just putting this in here, right? Right, nuisance is a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Apparently, the old fella who used to hang people... Yeah. He used to be able to tell somebody's weight just by looking at them. Right? That's a bit of a bonus fact.
We'll be the judge of that.
The thing that I wanted to tell you is, money for old rope, do you know that saying? I can't even be bothered.
Yes, you're gonna tell me now. Come on, Carl.
Right,
I mean it.
Basically, money for old rope came from the... Right.
What was all that about? He can tell someone's weight. What was that
bonus
for?
fact.
And Brian Blessed shitting himself. What are you... What? No, don't you... No, tell me that now. You nearly made me swear then. I'm getting really annoyed. I'm getting really annoyed now. Tell me this back, Carl, or I'm gonna go mental.
Come on, Carl, time's running out.
More that people, years ago, when people used to be hung, right?
Right.
If you didn't like the person who's been hung, you'd go, God, I really don't like him. And so you never forget the time.
Even if they're being hung, we take that as read.
Yeah. Well, so they never forget afterwards to get the hangman to get the rope and to cut it up into little pieces, and he'd sell them. He'd sell the little pieces of rope to people.
See, Carl, that's the most interesting thing, if it's true, that you've come up with.
Right, okay. And so so they sell the rope?
They sell the rope, and it's money for old rope.
Money for old rope?
Meaning, like, you know, God, it's easy to make money, that all they have to do is cut it up and sell it.
I'm cynical.
I'm not so convinced
right, listen, we're really tight, we haven't even got time for a last track, we've got an ad break and we've got to give out...
Okay, give the answers then, this is ridiculous.
So, Steve, do you want to pick a winner?
I've got a winner when you give us the answers.
Okay, so the first clue was, that army has got some well nice trenches.
Yeah.
That was DW.
Who's that?
Dandy Warhols.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Alright.
It's good, yeah.
The second one, the top of them curtains are wrecked, all the material is worn. HV, that's Holly Valance.
Oh, he got a phone call for a woman saying I haven't heard it, and he was talking to her off air, and she went, what is it? So-and-so said them curtains. She went, oh right. He said, you know the thing around the top of the, curtain is a palmet, not a valance, and he went, cut her off.
Yeah, but... My auntie's always making balances on everything. I'll tell you about that next week, right?
I'm looking forward to that.
Right. Is this the one that farted for 5 minutes?
Yeah, the very same.
Yeah.
Right? So, we'll talk about that. I was in Texas, I tripped up, I landed on my knees in a puddle, WH,
Yeah.
Wetney, Houston. Right?
Whitney Houston.
Yeah. So,
You're a maniac.
So, who's a winner?
We've got Pete, Catherine and Laura in Newcastle upon Tyne. They're listening online, I assume, and they're
on
going to
Sky
get
Digital.
those great phrases. And remember, they got loads of stuff. They got the DVD here. They got Linda Green. They got Stone Roses. They got another compilation and Executive Decision.
What did you read about Brian Blessed? Is it actually true, or have you lied with someone else?
It was an interview with him in it.
And what did he say? Come on, what did he say?
He said, I climbed Everest and I played havoc with me belly. Let's talk about it next week. We've really run out now.
Oh, you're a fool. Foo Fighters, All My Life on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington.
Indeed.
Genius Karl Pilkington, as Heat magazine said.
Really? Is that what he's referred to now?
Yeah, yeah. Genius. Saying about people tune in just to hear his games, such as Educating Ricky. Have you got some Educating Ricky for me?
Got some education.
I need some education, Karl.
That's
I desperately need some education. I want to learn about Chinese kids that are born hairier than average. I want to hear about deaf girls that can hear after their mum hits their head against a wall. These are the things I need to know.
I mean, I don't wish to be disrespectful. He doesn't look like a genius.
He doesn't look like
But then I
genius.
don't know what a genius looks like.
Exactly.
So,
Steve.
you know, I don't want to be an unfair.
Look at Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mum thought he was mental as a child.
Where'd you get that information from?
That was in the Einstein book.
But it was in the Einstein book, then it's presumably true.
Which Einstein book is that? His Theory of Relativity?
The big book of Einstein stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the big bumper book of Einstein stuff. It's for a coach trip, and you have to fill in, E equals MC1 squared, 2 fish, or 3 hello, and then it's multiple choice, and you fill it. It's great. It's
Did his mum
brilliant.
think, A, he was a genius, B, mental?
Most people go for A, but it is in fact B. She thought he was mental at the age of 28. Oh, Karl, you never let me down. You never let me down. So have you got Educating Ricky for me?
We've got Educating Ricky coming up.
We've got Rockbusters.
We've got Rockbusters.
Some great
As
places as
seen and talked about in Heat.
In Heat magazine.
It's got really tough this week now. We're not messing about anymore.
Right.
Got some good prizes.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll talk about those later. Because, I mean, was it last week that you had the classic? Was it, I can't remember, I'm paraphrasing, Karl, apologies. Something like, I'm here in Texas, I've fallen in a puddle, and my knee has got wet.
Yeah. Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
And
Yeah.
also, it was last week when there was a little bit of confusion over, the one for Holly Valance.
Of
Right?
course. I don't think it was confusion, I think it was your error.
No, it wasn't.
And it was
because-
Holy Valance, and you meant Pelmet.
Then, Becky, who called up that time and said, oh, if you're getting mistaken with, Pelmet, right, she sent me an email in a week saying, I've done a bit of research.
Yeah.
It was my fault, I've made an error.
Yeah.
It is a Valance.
Okay.
And I know about Valances, as I told you last week, at the very end, my auntie loves them.
Yeah.
Right? She makes them. She started off just like putting them on top of the, sort of window around the curtain. And then she thought, oh, I can do more with this. And she had a little coffee table that had magazines underneath, and she said, I'm sick of seeing them magazines when I'm sat down.
She sounds like a Pilkington.
So,
I'm sick of seeing them magazines when I sit down.
so she put a Valance round the table.
She just got Valances around everything now. Right?
Then, next step, she tapes everything. She never actually watches telly, she tapes it all. Because she gets sick of listening to the adverts and that. So she tapes everything, so she's got loads of videotapes and that. And the video used to get on her nerves. When she was watching a film, she'd see the clock changing. And it distracted her from the film, so she put a Valance round that.
That's genius.
Yeah.
So,
That is really...
Or is it mental? Only Mrs. Einstein can tell.
I don't know. She's even made a little, Jack Russell look like a hovercraft. He's great.
So everything's got a Valance.
If you go round and you stand still for too long, the chances are she'll put a Valance around your head.
This is this is Auntie who?
Auntie Nora.
And this is the one that farted for 5 minutes.
did.
Lest our listeners forget.
Lest we
Farted
forget.
for 5 minutes, called his mum, saying I'm farting. 2 minutes into the fart.
She's about 2.5 minutes in.
God.
She said I'm about 2.5 minutes into
Well,
the
my
fart.
mum said, how long's it been going on for? She said, well, it was about 2.5 minutes before I called you.
Yeah.
And then it went on for a further 2.5 minutes or something. And, then it stopped. And,
She couldn't time it because there was a Valance over the clock.
Yeah, she
Because it used to
couldn't
annoy
time
her when
it,
she was on the phone and you put her off seeing
So
the time.
she was
guessing it was 5 minutes.
This was one consistent fart.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't making a noise, it was just...
Oh, it wasn't making a noise.
just gas.
Right, endless gas.
So, There you
That's
go.
fantastic. Well, we started off with a new one. A little bit of Foo Fighters. We like new and old on this show, don't
Indeed, we like to mix it up.
I'd like to play to the Smiths from their debut album, I Don't Owe You Anything. I Don't Owe You Anything. The lads from, Karl's hometown there.
Indeed.
The Smiths. Brilliant, that one. Wow, I went to Manchester, didn't I, the other day? Went up to Manchester for a
What did
little
you make of
corporate. It was alright.
Yeah.
He went, wait till you get out, you see Piccadilly, it's better than Euston. Right. It was, you know, it was nicer. I went outside and there was a ridiculous queue, and sort of one cab.
Right, yeah.
So,
Horse-drawn.
yeah. And so I walked, and it was okay, it was only down the road, it was a bit dark. It was wet and raining, of
Obviously,
course.
it's the north.
I know, yeah. The hotel was very nice, but no minibar. I've never seen that before. I've travelled all over the world, so I've been in a hotel without a minibar.
No,
So I don't know what's going on then. I don't know what's going on there. And then I did this corporate gig in Old Trafford. The pitch was up, don't know what they were doing, but, you know, very impressive, big impressive. I think they're the British Football Club, aren't they? Carl?
Yeah.
You did a gig at where?
Old Trafford. It was in a function room.
Oh,
there,
well, I
but,
thought it was the stadium.
No, I'm
Incredible.
not that big yet.
Yeah.
No. But I mean, you know, I can't really comment on Manchester. I do know that Liverpool was voted most important music city via poll.
True enough.
So, Carl, you're making noises while I'm talking.
Yeah, but you do this all the time trying to wind me up. And I'm not saying Manchester's the best place in the world, but what I'm saying is, there's bits of it that I really miss.
Yeah.
Like last Sunday, right? When I'd met up with Ricky, we had spaghetti bolognese, which was alright. And then I said to her, I need some soil.
Damn, I wish you'd invited me, it sounds amazing.
So I need some soil, what do you think?
You need some what, soil?
Soil, yeah.
I need to repot a plant, right?
Yeah.
So,
You need to repot a plant?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
So, I'm like, where, you can't see these shops in London. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing around.
I took him straight to one in my street.
Yeah, but near your street, and that's probably the only one in London.
Well, you say that, Carl.
No, it does annoy me. Round my way, it's like, you know...
You can't move for soil shops.
You can't. There's earth, you can just pick up handfuls walking down the street.
Yeah, incredible.
Which
People
is-
just lean over into someone's front garden. No, you
Yeah.
can take the plants as well.
No, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is,
Go on.
Manchester, there's loads of decent hardware shops.
Yeah.
Here, you know, if you want a panini and a latte or whatever, you can't move for 'em. But for soil, I had to go virtually how many miles away from me to carry that soil home and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not good. I mean, London's alright, but if cities were sort of marked...
It's neglecting the peat market, really,
Well,
isn't
there's barely any mulch available in central London.
I'm sick and tired of not getting a good decent compost of a Sunday.
Indeed.
So,
It sickens me.
I'm thinking of moving to the north,
Yeah.
where there is loads of soil and gravel
Indeed.
and animal shite.
whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, you were going to say if you were marking cities out of 10, what would you give London?
Well, if you were marking them on, like, you know, on what they have,
Right.
as opposed to what?
well, as opposed to...
How
The
you
name.
spell it.
Say, like, I think the greatest city in the world is Rome. Right,
Okay.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been?
What? Yeah. Why do you think that though?
Just because, like, you turn a corner and there's something there that's really old. Right? Like, you're going down Normal Street.
Go and stay in a Derby and Joan club.
Yeah.
No, but it's like you're going down the road and then you turn a corner and like the Colosseum's in the middle of a busy road. It's like, what's that doing there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just when you think there's no more, you turn another corner.
It's almost as if that was there first.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? London,
Yeah.
what have we got? You know, Trafalgar Square's world known. And you go there, what's that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, there's a lot of space there. Get one big B&Q.
In Trafalgar Square.
To cater for the whole of people who live sort of central Londonish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'd be happy, but what I'm saying
What with
is...
Nelson just popping up through the middle? Because you can still see it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
B&Q, so B&Q could be like the whole sort of flat thing and make it sort of grey so it looked like rock, and then Nelson popping
Make it
up.
classy is what you're saying.
Yeah. Stone clad it.
Yeah.
So it looks like you've made an effort.
Exactly.
And then you can pop in, and then you can go out and go, oh look, Nelson's column. Oh look at that, isn't Nelson, oh look at that, the victory, defeat, that's fantastic, one of the greatest living.
Yeah.
I need some nails.
Yeah. Perfect. Killing two birds with one stone, you say?
But why isn't there more than them shops? Because when I went into yours, every time I've been in there twice now. The first time was to get a shower head, right?
Right.
And I went in there, couldn't resist buying something else. I ended up getting some super glue as well.
Blimey. Hey, big spender.
And then, last Sunday we went in there, got 2 bags of soil, not one, I bought 2.
Yeah.
And I bought some scissors to cut plants with.
Secateurs.
Well, you don't,
Scissors.
you never know when you want, you know, you might need more soil, I suppose.
Well, I've got
You've
2.
stocked out now. Where'd you keep it, under your bed?
Sorry, this isn't going out, is it, this conversation? It's not going out on air.
I got a feeling it might be.
You're joking. We've better play a record.
Okay.
Play a classic. I hate to say I told you so on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously. With me, Steve Merchant. And Karl Genius Pilkington.
Absolutely. I was watching a bit of TV.
Karl the Brain Pilkington.
The brains.
Yeah.
I was watching a bit of TV last night, Rick.
Go on.
And I had a little
Children
thought.
Need?
No, I didn't watch Children Need.
Oh, you
I
missed a
was watching
treat.
something. I think it was last night. It was a bit earlier. I had a little thought for lads that might be out tonight, you know, on the Raz.
Yeah.
Maybe they get a little bit of success with the ladies.
Yeah.
This was something that struck me as I was watching it. A lot of gentlemen, you know, when they're engaged in, you know, an act of, you know, relations with a lady, they like to sort of, you know, think of an image or something that will prevent them from, you know, and you catch my drift. We're men in the world.
Grandmother's funeral is the cliche, isn't it?
Exactly. And I'll tell you what I think, it should be. Rick Waller, jogging. I was watching Fit Club. I have never seen anything
I
like
liked it when
Rick.
Harvey lost it with him.
Oh, man alive. I mean, I know I slag him off, but I don't really like him either. I just think he comes across appallingly, and I think, you know...
When he just walked away in that mid-conversation talking to that bloke, they're doing it for his good, really.
But he's like 31 stone?
I think he lost a bit. I think he's 29 now. Don't exaggerate, Steve. You make him sound like a fat.
But you know, I mean, yeah.
That was close, wasn't it?
When having sex, you know, apparently, thinking of, Rick Waller helps.
Oh, don't look what's happened.
Exactly.
That's the reverse effect.
Yeah.
Oh, no, me and Karl.
No, if you're with a lady, apparently that works.
I know, he's out now, isn't he? He's out.
Did he walk out?
I think so. I think that's it, from what I can...
No, I think next week they kick him out, because I read something about, they get rid of him next week because of his attitude, and the first time I read it I thought he'd actually ate someone's hat.